After losing to the Predators 3 times last year, the Blues have won the first 2 meetings. 2 seconds to go. Bring out the Zamboni. You can hear the Blues fans cheering, and there's a lot of them down here tonight. The St. Louis Blues beat the Predators by a score of 4-1.
Let's get nasty on a Wednesday afternoon. It is the Fast Lane here on 101 ESPN. Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers here. Our guy Anthony down in a pool in Florida somewhere. Hopefully he's wearing a mouth guard and a helmet. Right, boys?
Yeah.
Guys, anybody else feel a little unenthusiastic there? Where's our guy Curbs? When do we talk to him next? Marshy?
Tomorrow? Or is it? Yeah, we'll talk with Curbs tomorrow.
Save that audio because I want to know why Curbs wasn't a little more excited.
I can tell you why.
Why?
Winning is becoming the norm. And
but
so listen, Lord, I'm telling you, you get comfortable.
No.
Bring out the Zamba. Like, we know what we're doing here. It's comfortable.
Yeah, but you just bring out the Zamboni. And then everybody's fired up.
You got to get on it, man. We need that enthusiasm at all times.
Look, one, nobody's safe.
Nobody's safe. Yeah,
it's all about accountability. And Curbs, when we play that back for Curbs, we'll get his honest opinion on that. Maybe he was tired. Maybe Joey had ran him ragged a little bit. You never know, okay? You just never know.
Is that from experience? Do you run JK a little ragged at times?
JK, I think, sometimes goes home and sits in a panic room. And just to get away from
me. Just to get it, no sounds, nothing. Just, I need 30 minutes to myself. Jamie's been
JK accused me of trying to intimidate him yesterday. Because I sent him a text message and he ghosted me.
Oh, really?
And he's like, I was on the phone. I go, but did you see the text message? He's like, I was on the phone. Like, I didn't ask you that. I go, did you, with your eyeballs, see a text message from me that you chose not to answer it? He goes, you're not on the ice here. You can't intimidate me. I go, what? Like, JK, what are you talking about? Then he walked away from me. I was like, damn, a mic drop, too.
And kept it moving.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. Good for him.
God, I love JK. Love those guys. I love the Blues winning, too, boys. How do we feel, huh?
You got to feel great, man.
Carey, it feels different, doesn't it?
Does. We were talking about it yesterday, man. They're playing well. They're doing all of the things that I think that are required to win games. Playing as a unit, playing selfless, as Monty has said, as a few players have said in interviews, post-game interviews. Like, they're just together. They're a team that understands that this is the way we have to play in order to win, and that's what they're doing, and it's fun to watch.
Yeah, and they didn't have their A game last night either. You know, Jim Montgomery talked about not having quite the same amount of juice as they've had here in recent games, but they still, here's the difference. They're playing smart positionally, so then that equaled getting opportunities. And when they got those opportunities, they made it count.
Yeah.
And that's the difference. Whereas, you know, let's go back 2 months. Maybe they were, maybe they weren't getting the opportunities. I mean, goal scoring was at a premium for the Blues. It's like, you know. And now they're getting those opportunities. And then, you know, go back a little while again, they weren't cashing in on those opportunities. When they got them, they weren't scoring enough. Things are looking really good, man.
It's fun to watch. Like, I'm looking at the Jake Neighbors goal was a beauty. The Jordan Kyrou goal was awesome. Like, it's just like the passing on the Jake Neighbors goal. They break out and now we find them backhand sticking in the back. It was beautiful.
Justin Falk. By the way, can I describe that play just for a second? Because I tried on TV, but when you're on TV, you have just a little bit amount of time, and you got to keep the feet moving, right? So, first of all, Justin Falk had the confidence to be up the ice. So Pavel Buchnevich made a breakout pass to a defenseman in the neutral zone. Pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome. And then Justin Falk gets across the blue line. And Carey, when you're holding a hockey stick in your top hand, okay, and you go to lay it down on the ice to block a pass, there's an area of the stick that you cannot get to the ice. Do you know what area that is?
What area? The blade?
Right where your hand is, because your fingers are in the way.
Okay.
So the glove holds the stick up off the ice.
I got you.
But then it goes...
When you're putting you're saying when your hand is going down.
That's right. But then it shrinks down to where you have stick on the ice, but right underneath, right in front of the glove area...
It's the spot.
Is the sweet spot.
Where you can get the puck on.
And Justin Falk came in and threw the little glove area, and then Jake Neighbors went forehand, backhand, thank you, ma'am, on that one.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. And then Jordan Kyrou's goal, the first one, was awesome as well. Like, he's
a little spin around.
I mean, what are you doing? Just put it on. It was very nice.
It was weird that Soros lost total vision.
He had no clue where he was. Where he spun. Okay, he's not. Oh, he's shooting it. Okay. Like, they're scoring. Their playmakers are showing up and doing things that playmakers are supposed to do. The guys that get paid a lot of money in sports, you know, the guys that us guys like us look to, like, hey, you showing up tonight? Because if you don't, you probably don't got a chance. I'm gonna do my job. I'm gonna block the hell out of this. Like, you gonna run hard? Because if you don't, it'll be a long night. It'll be a long night. The guys that get paid a lot of money to do the things that they're supposed to do, and Jake Neighbors will be on that list at some point. Like they're playing well.
now, man.
I'm talking about as far as
goals
I'm talking about as far as the payment part.
Oh, well, he's not doing too bad next year. Next year's $3 million. Yeah, I can handle that, Carey.
I could too.
Hell yeah.
So,
but he's earning it.
He is. So that to me is the part where you're looking at this team. You're seeing every aspect of it. You're getting great goaltending. You're getting great defense in front of the goalies. You're getting guys that aren't turning the puck over, that are playing connected, that are doing all of the little things that need to be done in order to win games. And for me, it's extremely fun to watch.
And they're sticking up for each other.
Yeah.
Jake Neighbors goes after McCarron's a massive
He's huge.
dude. Yeah. Massive.
I got a little nervous.
He went after, you do what you do. You show up, Carey.
You got to be there.
Doesn't matter if you win or lose. It doesn't matter as long as you show up.
Yeah.
And he did. And then Tyler Tucker took care of business, too. Later on in the game. Got to like that. But some good news out of Blues world today, Carey. Good news. I'm not going to spoil it. No. I'm going to let head coach Jim Montgomery address this. By the way, Jim Montgomery will be joining the Fast Lane at 5 p.m. tonight, so make sure you're tuned in for that. But here's what Monty had to say about a specific player earlier today.
He is progressing really well. He's an exemplary recovery athlete in the sense that he doesn't take any time off. He's going to do exactly what Ray Barilli and his staff is asking of him and the doctors are asking of him. You know, do I think he's going to be 6 weeks? I do not think he's going to be 6 weeks. That's just me because that's my belief in him and our athletic training staff and our doctors. But outside of that, I don't know how much sooner than 6 weeks.
Carey, who is Coach Jim Montgomery talking about?
Who is Colton Parayko?
Ding, 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 ding. Yeah. Get that, man. A Frisbee.
Give me something.
That's all we got in the prize closet.
All right. Is that it?
That's fine.
Can't get a shirt.
It's a really nice Frisbee, though.
I don't know.
It's like glow in the dark.
Are you going to play Frisbee with me?
Oh, yeah.
Does it come with Jamie Rivers?
I like to catch it with my mouth.
Perfect. I'll throw
it's great. Yeah.
Throw it high. Go get it.
Yeah. With a mouth guard, it's fine.
I said this when he got injured, though. We talked about him having the scope, and I felt like the 6-week timeline was a little bit long, but sometimes you under-promise and over-deliver. Like, you send out a timeline that is 6 weeks, and hopefully he can meet that and beat that timeline and be back before that 6 weeks occurs. And I think that that's where he is. I mean, a scope for me is usually just to clean some things up. Unless it's something torn, which they didn't give us that indication that it was something torn. It just feels like, something that needed to be cleaned out. You get it cleaned out, you start feeling better, and then you start resuming normal activities, and then you have to build your way up to actually getting into game mode. So if the coach says, I don't believe it's going to be 6 weeks, I have no reason to believe it's going to be 6 weeks.
Usually the coaches are very careful, how they word things. And just to put in perspective, I think 6 weeks is probably, and no disrespect to anybody, I think 6 weeks probably like what a normal person would do for it, because they're not training every day. They're not like in phenomenal shape. So maybe some people are, whatever. But Colton Parayko, never mind just a pro hockey player, an athlete. Colton Parayko is a freak.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy looks like Ivan Drago from Rocky IV. He is chiseled, ripped, not 1 ounce of fat on him, keeps his body in great shape, and he does what the training staff tells him. Ray Barilli does an amazing job for the Blues, as always. So hopefully, fingers crossed, Monty's correct and we get Colton Parayko back before that 6 weeks, because they've got obviously a huge game coming up tomorrow night. We will dive into that more as the day goes on. We're going to talk a lot of Blues. We'll talk some Cardinals, talk some football. But, Carey, there's one thing I want to talk about before we hit for the first break. Happy birthday, Marcy! Hey! Woo, look at that kid.
Andrew Marsh.
Yes.
27?
29. I'll take 27 now.
I remember when he's just a young kid coming in here,
Yeah.
Still figuring things out.
Yeah. Look at him now, all dressed up.
Yeah, he's doing great, man.
He's doing really well.
Got a hot date tonight, gentlemen. My birthday.
Is it just you and Rachel? Or?
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah. I have no idea where we're going.
Oh, she's surprising
It's a surprise.
you?
So
Nice.
told me to dress nice.
Did you say, honey, I'd like to be surprised?
No.
Oh, she
took it
initiated
on herself.
Carey, that's good news.
Honestly,
that's good news. Yes.
I didn't really care about my birthday. It was just kind of in that.
Did you tell her you don't care anything at all as long as you're with her?
Yes. Yeah.
Marshy.
Me. By the way, Jackson told me that he dedicated an entire Sports Center update to me.
He did. He said, this Sports Center update
Yeah.
is just for my guy, Andrew Marsh. Happy birthday.
Wow.
And then they got back to TMA. He did nothing else. Didn't give an update on any sports.
No, didn't need to.
No basketball, no nothing.
No basketball. That's the big one. That's the big one.
That's true love.
He did say that he did say their clock was messed up and he had to get back on track, so that was the easiest thing to do. But I do appreciate it.
Well, either way, Marshy, happy birthday.
Thank you.
We will be getting off early today, and that's strictly because it's Marshy's birthday.
Absolutely. You're welcome.
Tommy Madden and John Kielski said there's no way we're going to have that young man work late on his birthday, so we'll be off at 5:30 today. But we will have some basketball action. We got American versus Mount St. Mary's. Pregame starts at 5:30. Tip-off 5:40 right here on 101 ESPN. So, Carey, let me ask you a question. How did the Blues get here when it comes to goal suppression? We'll find out next here on 101 ESPN.
team effort defensively overcoming the loss of a great player like Parayko, and team defense, this is a team game. And when all players dressed are committed to playing the right way, you can overcome losses of elite players. And obviously we'll just be better when he gets back.
That was Blues head coach Jim Montgomery talking about Colton Parayko and how the team is managing to survive without him. It's 101 ESPN. It's a fast lane. Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, Andrew Marsh. So, guys, in your opinion, let's start with Marshy. Marsh, you're a guy you're a deep thinker, okay? Very deep thinker.
Sure.
At least that's my story. How'd the Blues get here when it comes to goal suppression? When you're watching the games, and we literally have two examples of a team that's completely different now. Mm-hmm. Pre-Four Nations, post-Four Nations. What are some of the things, whether they're minor or major, that you have picked up on?
So there's like three specific things that I think help goal suppression. One of them is face-off wins, winning that initial face-off, whether that's in the offensive zone or defensive zone. I think that's huge. One, you have possession of the puck, so that's one way to limit the other team from getting opportunities. Two, I think the defense have really good gap control. I think their gap control has been fantastic as of late. And I think the forwards are doing a better job at playing defense in their defensive zone and blocking shots. We saw, I believe it was Oscar Sundqvist, and you're up, 4-1 last night, and he's blocking a huge shot with less than 2 minutes or less than a minute to go. You don't really need to block that shot because you're up 3 goals, but that's what this team is committed to doing. They're committed to doing the little things that I don't think you see on the score sheet that are leading to them winning games.
Carey, what are you noticing?
Simple. The Blues have done a great job of keeping the puck out of their net. When you break it down, that's really what goal suppression boils down to.
Yes.
You keep the puck out of your net. You keep the puck out of your zone. Mm-hmm. And I think that, in all honesty, I agree with Marshy. Having possession of the puck obviously eliminates some of those things. Not, having a lot of D-zone time and being able to. The one thing that I think I've seen from this team, and I know you talked about it a lot last year and the year before, is getting bodies on bodies, sticks on sticks, and not allowing for those easy passes, those easy shots, and just playing hard. I think you've said this also. Playing defense is a mindset. It's hard. It's harder than playing on offense. It's more energy exerted on the defensive end than it is on the offensive end. So guys actually pushing forward and pressing and not, giving up or giving in, blocking shots in games where you're already up. And I know there was a level of frustration to allow that goal with 0.6 seconds left in the period. I know that's frustrating, but still staying with the plan, sticking with the plan, and not giving in or giving up. And so for me, getting possession of the puck, getting takeaways from the opposing team, and just playing hard. I think that's what it all. And then you're getting stellar goal play from 2 goalies. They've done a great job when they're not being blocked or guys aren't in front of them. I know Bennington had a rough game, but besides that, they are playing extremely well, and they're all connected as a unit. And I think that's what's preventing those goals, and that's what's allowing them to turn defense into offense.
Yeah, I would agree. And I think what's happened here is the team overall, not every player, because some of the guys knew this before, but overall the team is realizing that the harder you play defensively, the quicker you eliminate the other team's offensive abilities, and the quicker you have a chance to go play offense. Mm-hmm. And I think that's really paid off big time, especially with the Schenn, Kyrou, Holloway line. They're defending extremely well, blocking shots. Jordan Kyrou's having a good defensive stick, knocking down passes, stealing pucks from other players. And then they get to go play offense, which is the fun part. Mm-hmm. The second part of this for me is your depth right now. I'm not even talking depth of scoring. Your depth in your lineup. All 4 forward lines, there's really no air to breathe out there for the opposition. They get in on the forecheck. If that doesn't work, they come back hard through the middle of the ice, through the neutral zone, sticks in lane, so you're taking away anything that goes cross ice. That allows the defenseman to gap up at the blue lines because you have forwards that are coming back now on the defensive side. So whether it's offensive zone, neutral zone, or at the defensive blue line, you're suppressing the attack of the opposition at the same time.
And I was going to say the forwards, because you being a defenseman, I'm sure you've played with forwards that don't work hard in the defensive end. Yeah. You're like, I'm going to kill this guy.
Well, what happens if they don't come back hard? Okay, so this is something that people don't realize. If my forward does not back check hard, the hardest he can, through the middle of the ice, I can't stand up. I have to keep backing up because
Right.
if I stand up and I don't have that forward back there, they move the puck around me
Drop
to
it to
somebody
someone
else,
else.
and then they're off to the races. So I can't be aggressive. I have to, basically it's if I was a defensive back, it would be like playing off of the receiver rather than jamming the receiver at the line of scrimmage. So I have to give up the line of scrimmage, would be the blue line, and then basically go into prevent mode to kind of keep everything while I wait for help.
So you can react.
So then I can get aggressive.
Right.
Well, right now, the Blues defensemen are able to be aggressive all over the ice because they're getting that support from the forwards who are out there.
Right.
Whoever it is, whatever forward is back first and all that stuff, that makes a difference.
Right.
And then, of course, the goaltending. We always want to circle the blips on the radar. There's been 2 blips on the radar. Joel Hofer in Dallas and Jordan Binnington in Pittsburgh.
Right.
And I believe that's only 2 of the 12 games that they've played. So 10 games have been really good by the goaltending. In fact, like stellar.
I agree.
And so when you have the goaltending, the D-core that you've got currently playing the way they are, and the forwards being effective with their forecheck and their back check, that suppresses the other team's ability to have consistent offensive pushes. Then you go back to what Marshy says, the shot blocking, the hitting, the sacrificing of yourself. That's another layer of goal suppression or offense suppression because if I'm trying to shoot the puck through 3 guys, like after a while you start to get frustrated, then what do? You look for a pass, something different.
Yeah.
So now the shot's not available. And then if I have a player, doesn't matter who, Radek Faksa, Nathan Walker, Torpchenko, Sundqvist, Bolduc, running through my chest every single time I have the puck, it's hard to get my feet going, hard to create some offense that way. So all of these little things, all of the dirty work, boys, that crap that nobody ever gets praised for, the Blues are doing that, and that's what's really, really contributing to this.
When you're down between the benches, if you had $1 for every time you heard on the bench someone say, good stick, how much money would you have?
Well, I wouldn't be here right now, boys.
But like sticks are in lanes. I like there's a specific play last night. Philip Broberg, he's getting back. It could have been a 2-on-1, just a subtle like stick in the lane, puck goes into the corner, completely breaks up that opportunity. It's stuff like that I'm noticing that is completely different. And their ability to find that guy up the middle when there's some pressure like below the goal line, something that they've been doing, but sometimes we saw in the past few years there's a little miscommunication there. Perhaps it ended up in the back of the net.
Yeah.
But like last night I was watching and they did it to a T. It just alleviates so much pressure.
Well, most teams forecheck down the walls. So the F1 gets in on the forecheck. His job is to disturb whoever the puck carrier is. F2 usually is down the wall. Because when you put pressure on a defenseman or a forward down low, they're taught, keep the puck out of the middle of the ice. So they go to the walls.
Right.
So that's why the F2, the second forward for the other team, is taking away the wall.
Right.
Right now, what the Blues are able to do, simply because of Binnington and Hofer, they get out of the net, they stop the puck.
Yeah.
And now they can go goalie to defenseman forward or backwards or leave it for a D-man.
Right.
And then the middle ice, Robert Thomas, whoever's in the middle, Braden Chen, little button hook, pop pass to the middle of the ice. So now the forward who got in there, the
He's on
eager
the
beaver,
wall. Yeah.
he's ahead of the play now.
Right.
He's caught behind the puck,
Right.
which is not good, and the forward on the wall is caught in the wrong spot. And that opens up the middle of the ice, which we saw last night a couple of times. The Blues were able to attack up the middle of the ice on transition, and it ended up being really good scoring opportunities. So all of this right now combined is what's giving the Blues this offensive push and the offense suppression of other teams.
Right.
Now it takes a lot of hard work consistently. I guess not going to get easier. They had a big game on Thursday, and after that, a big game on Saturday. In fact, the rest of the season is big games for the Blues. So the one good thing about this is that they have depth of lineup. They have 4 forward lines and 3 defensive pairings and 2 good goaltenders. That helps you maintain that certain level of intensity in order to win these games playing that style of hockey.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see, how this plays out, but right now it looks pretty good. All right, this is the Fast Lane here on 101 ESPN. We come back. Birthday boy Marshy's got what's trending here in the Fast Lane. It is that time of the year. Lots of people are going to be looking to sell their homes during the springtime. Well, if you are thinking about selling your home, please call the best in the business. That's Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Look, Gloria's been in the business for over 20 years. She knows exactly what needs to be done to sell your home. And it's inevitable that we all have questions, whether it's the purchase price, what we need to upgrade, things we need to fix, things we need to add, all of that stuff. And we don't necessarily have the answers because we don't deal with it every day. Well, Gloria Liu and her team deals with it every single day. They know exactly what's going to help your home sell fast, and she's going to price it so that you can make the most money possible. And she knows all this because she's been in the business for over 20 years, helping all of people here in St. Louis sell their homes. So if you want to sell your home quickly and for the most money, pick up the phone right now. Call Gloria Liu. Tell her Jamie Rivers sent you in. Her number is 314-325-6888. Again, that's 314-325-6888. Or you can always visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Blues pick up a 4-1 victory in Nashville last night over the Nashville Predators. They'll take on the Vancouver Canucks in a very pivotal game tomorrow. You can listen to that game right here on 101 ESPN. Pregame starts at 5:30. Puck drop is at 6:30. Tonight we have some first four action for you. American going up against Mount St. Mary's. Also Texas and Xavier. Pregame for the first game starts at 5:30. Tip-off will be at 5:40. And then following that, Texas Xavier at 8:10. We have What's Trending coming up next right here in the Fast Lane. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
news in the sports world.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
It's time to find out with
What's Trending? Brought to you by Elite Comfort Experts. Heating and cooling with no gimmicks, just guarantees. EliteComfortExperts.com.
Welcome back to the Fast Lane here on 101 ESPN with Jamie Rivers and Carey Davis. I'm Andrew Marsh, and it's time for What's Trending. Gentlemen, would you guys like a spring training report?
Sure.
Yes. Let's go to it.
We're flying down to Florida for a spring training report on 101 ESPN. Our Redbird Spring Training Report is brought to you by Rawlings. Visit the all-new Rawlings experience at Westport Plaza today.
All right, so I'd say we are a little low on the Cardinals this year.
What? What have you guys been saying while I've been gone?
Oh, stop it.
I believe in this team.
Okay, put the red glasses on.
I don't know where they are.
There, they're right over there.
They're too far.
Okay.
They are a little too far.
Can't reach.
Okay. I'll get them for you.
No, it's okay.
Cardinals won today, gentlemen.
Yeah!
It's not a regular season game.
Oh.
But 7-1, they defeat the Washington Nationals.
That's a hell of a team.
Hey,
It's a team.
Sorry.
That's Steven Matz. 6 innings pitched. Only gave up 4 hits, 1 earned run. Couple bombs. We got a Burley bomb today.
Your favorite player.
My favorite player.
St. Louis famous.
St. Louis Star incoming. Mm-hmm. Victor Scott hits another home run.
That guy's going to look good in Memphis, man.
Carey, we're trying to be positive
Memphis
here.
Redbirds are all set, baby. They'll have Sajasi, Victor Scott. They're going to have a hell of a team.
Come on.
They're going to have a hell of a rotation, too.
Yeah. Hey.
Oh.
So I know the Cardinals offense has been interesting. We'll use that word. They've been interesting. Mm-hmm. They haven't been great.
Okay.
It looks like the offense is starting to have a little bit of an uptick. Does it matter what happens early in spring as long as they are starting to get their stuff together right now heading into the regular season? Does that give you a little bit more hope heading into next week?
I think if you are trending in the right direction, that's a good thing, right? If you're playing well enough to start to piece some things together and put some things together, it's always better to be playing well as opposed to be playing poorly. So, I got, 8 days before opening day? And, still some things I'm sure they want to work on, but at this point, they're probably who they are, and we'll just see, man. I'm just going to hold off my thoughts until I see 2 weeks worth of baseball, maybe a month.
I would agree with that. Spring training, sometimes we read too much into it. We don't read enough into it. I don't know. It's just spring training. To me, it's like preseason hockey. You can have a team win 1 game and lose 5 and then start off 5-0 in the regular season. So it's like, we'll see. If that's like the easy way out, I'm sorry, but that's where I'm at.
Yeah.
You could win the Grapefruit League and then proceed to lose 90-plus games.
There you go.
It has happened.
It happened recently.
Yeah, it sure did.
Guys, thank goodness the Minnesota Vikings are moving past their decision or the discussions with free agent quarterback Aaron Rodgers, leaving J.J. McCarthy atop the quarterback depth chart as offseason practices approach. Sources have told ESPN. This is big news, great news for me.
Marshy.
That means, Carey,
I won't be the.
that means something for your team, perhaps.
Maybe. We'll get a Super Bowl champion quarterback. Yeah. Russell or Aaron. One of them, they both won the Super Bowl.
Sounds like some of the players are really thrilled about Aaron Rodgers.
Well, yeah,
right now.
Cam Hayward said, hey, we don't got time to wait for this nonsense. I don't want to be in a dark room, paraphrasing. But yeah, well.
Guys grow tired of it, Carey.
Yeah. Marshy, are you excited? I hear the excitement in your voice, so I won't be the bearer of bad news. I'll let you. It's your birthday.
Thank you.
Yep, I'll leave it alone.
Thank you.
Yep, I'll do it.
Yeah, I am excited.
He's still gonna
Because
end up there.
Huh? Oh, no, I don't think he'll end up there, but I think it's weird that they were actually looking and talking to him.
well, were they though?
Were they not?
Aaron
If
Rodgers-
they weren't, they wouldn't have to come out
Aaron
and say
Rodgers
that
is
they
the one
weren't.
who brought
They were
them
done.
up.
You think?
I know he did.
I believe that. I think there were discussions, but what would be the point? And I was thinking about this. What would be the point of moving on from Sam Darnold if you weren't going to give him the contract? and then all of a sudden give Aaron Rodgers the contract.
Yeah, because you're not going to really give Aaron Rodgers the contract. You'd give him a contract. It ain't going to look like Darnold's was going to look.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, if I'm Minnesota, I kick the tires on Aaron Rodgers because I'm like, what's the most he's going to want? Like $5 million? Because otherwise he has no job.
Who?
Aaron Rodgers.
How much does he want? $5 million?
Oh, no. He wanted way more than that.
$30 million. $35 million.
But that's why they're moving on.
Right. Oh, that's why it doesn't make sense.
I would say, hey, Aaron, you have had one season you didn't play at all, and you had a really bad season with the Jets. What's your leverage here, bro? And you're 40-plus years old. Like, what are you doing?
He's Aaron Rodgers.
I'll give you $5 million with incentives to get up to about 10. That's it.
He'd rather not play football.
Then go hide out in your retreat and hammer down some ayahuasca, buddy.
Might not be a bad idea.
Guys, the NHL is teasing a potential new era for its annual All-Star Showcase. Commissioner Gary Bettman said, we're reevaluating how we want to do things because I think we've raised the bar about as high as you can for an all-star game in any sport. And so we want to make sure whatever we do is up to the standards that we've created. What could they possibly do that could live up to, if not maybe hover around the Four Nations in terms of an all-star game?
So here's what I've heard. Now, I shouldn't say that. There is something I heard of earlier today, maybe yesterday, where apparently President Trump talked to Vladimir Putin about NHL versus KHL type exhibition kind of games. Now, the NHL released a statement saying that they had no idea, like, what's going on. This is just the president talking to whomever. This is no backing of the NHL or the NHLPA.
Is Putin on the team?
Oh, boy, if we do, we're losing for sure then. It depends where we play. If we play in Russia, we're losing for sure. But hear me out. What about NHL All-Stars versus KHL All-Stars? Now, I know it sounds crazy because the KHL is not NHL, but there are a lot of guys in the KHL that could be playing in the NHL.
Don't you need, and this is just me spitballing, don't you need, in order for an all-star game to work, the names? Like, you're
Carey, USA versus Russia, Canada versus Russia, it always plays. If you had the three teams playing in a tournament, like a little round robin, so they each play each other and the two top teams play for the thing.
Well, if that's the case, I would rather see another Four Nations face-off or Six Nations face-off.
Basically the Four Nations.
But yeah, but Russia wasn't in the Four Nations.
Well, I was about to say, put Russians in.
But we know
put a
one
Russian
thing's
team
for
in
sure.
there.
The three top nations in hockey are Canada. Never mind. We just showed you guys. That's okay. Canada.
You were on United States train the entire time.
He wasn't. It was a
ruse, guys.
It was whoever won, he was.
Well, no, it wasn't.
No, now you got it.
No,
Marshy's got
I
it
don't
pretty
think
good.
so, because I told you I showed up to the man's house and he had a Canadian sweater on. Then he later on ripped off some pants and had Canadian drawers on. So I think he was all in, Marshy. Didn't see the Canadian drawers I was going by then.
But guys, we're digressing here a little bit, okay? But Canada, USA, and Russia are the three powerhouses. Mm-hmm. That'd be fun, man.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. And, I guess it wouldn't have to be KHL. I guess you could have some NHL guys, too. I don't know. I'm spitballing here as to how they could do something that would be not just fun for the athletes, but, like, compelling to the fans. Like, what drew you into the Four Nations? Canada versus USA is what drew us into it. And what really drew us into it is the Kachuk brothers going Bash Brothers style and starting that game off. And after that, everybody was in.
Can you get away with that, though, every single year where you're playing that competitive hockey on what should be a week off?
It's better than what we're seeing. Make it 3 weeks. Like, give it 2 weeks of games and then give them a week off. I mean, figure it out. Because it's better than
Carey,
what we've seen.
You get TV, do the games.
He'll be okay. 3 weeks. You can spend 2 weeks in Mexico next year. Okay, just you see.
All right.
But it's better. See,
that's called compromise.
Yeah. But I think it's better than what we see in the NBA. It's better than what we see in the NFL. I know the NHL All-Star Game is not as nearly competitive as it has been in years past. So you have to do something because to me. that was exciting. Like, that was fun to watch. And I get it. You know, you don't want Matthew Tkachuk being out for the year and getting banged up and things like that. You don't want players getting ran into nets and goals and hurting themselves. But that's what sports is, man. It's competitive. It's the best in the world, and they are competing. It's not supposed to be the best in the world, and they're just skating, or they're just shooting threes from half court, and they're just nobody wants to watch that. And I get it, but if you give them something to incentivize, whether it's financial or pride of country, then I think you'll have more. The NBA players play harder in the Olympics than they do in the All-Star game because it's pride of country. Like, you have something that gets people revved up and ready to play. I can't watch another All-Star weekend like I saw in the NBA last year.
Yeah, in the NHL.
You went to it,
I was
too.
there.
You did. I'm really sorry that you wasted your time,
Man,
Carey.
it was my son had time.
Yeah, great.
He would have had more
father-son
fun
time.
at Royal Rumble or SummerSlam.
Where
or
was
Backlash.
the NBA game?
It was in San Francisco.
San Francisco.
Yeah.
Okay, so at least there's some other things to do, though.
Yeah, we had a good time. Man, had a good time.
Well, I don't know what the NHL's ultimate pivot is here because, to your point, Marshy, so much, and Carey, you too, so much momentum was gained from this Four Nations tournament that, I mean, I don't even know how you recapture that. So it's going to be tough, but it sounds like at least Gary Bettman and the higher-ups are getting into a meeting here, and they're going to try and figure out something that'd be awesome for the fans to watch as well. All right, that was what's trending here in the Fast Lane. Coming up next, advice with former athletes. So if you have a question for Carey or I about anything, for that matter, anything you want, shoot us a text to the Air Comfort Service text line. That number's 314-399-9646. We'll get you advice with former athletes next here on 101 ESPN. Welcome back here to the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. It is time for advice with former athletes, or athlete, as my partner Carey Davis has disappeared here. We'll have the FBI track him down here momentarily. Again, the Air Comfort Service text line 314-399-9646. Marshy, what do you got for me?
All right, this one comes from the Skull Man.
Oh.
How do you guys decide on which agent to go with? Is it the best? Can he get you the contract but cost you more? What percentage do you pay them, or do you represent yourself in hopes of saving money?
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend representing yourself until you're an established star and you know what your value is, and you really don't need anybody in that room because the team wants you so bad they're basically going to give you what you want anyways. As far as getting an agent, ask around. Ask a lot of people. And for me, like my first agent that I had, I asked former clients too, why'd you leave? Like, what were the problems?
Yeah.
What happened? And but you do your due diligence as much as you can. Ultimately, you have to pick an agent that cares about you. Like the whole Jerry Maguire movie, I know it's kind of cheeseball in some certain, but that stuff is real. That's real. I'll tell you a personal story of mine. I was with a massive agency when I was coming out of junior hockey, highly rated prospect, all that stuff, blue chip, all that. So the biggest firms were wanting to represent me. And I went with a firm called Newport Sports. You go do your math or go do your homework on that. Google Newport Sports, and you'll find out they represent a lot of high-end players. So they were great for me for my first contract. But then as time went on and I wasn't the all-star player, all of a sudden they stopped answering the phones. And I think I've told this story before.
Yeah.
Chris Pronger is one of their clients, and we were playing here together, and I kept telling him I can't get a hold of our agent, blah, blah, blah. So I call one day. Secretary goes, oh, yeah, can I tell him who's calling? I go, yeah, it's Chris Pronger. Hey, Chris, how you doing? I go, you son of a... I'm like, you're done. I'm like, you're done, man. I've been calling you for 2 weeks. You don't call me back. I say it's Chris Pronger. You answer the phone.
Right.
I'm like, I'm done. We're done. And that was it. I fired him on the spot.
What did he say? Like, did he apologize?
They're salesmen, right?
I was busy, guys. You were next on my list.
Right
I was
there.
going to call. You're crazy that you called me right now. I was literally picking up the phone to call you right now.
Carey's got it. And I said, that's great. You can call me some other time, like a long time from now. I had to write a letter to fire him because it had to be registered by the league and all that stuff. So fired him. And then I had an agent reach out to me. His name is Matt Cater. We've had him on the show before, Marshy, a while back, talking about contracts and stuff. He was a scout for the Blues when they drafted me. And then he became an agent. And he called me and said, hey, man, I scouted you. We drafted you. I believe in you. I think you have a lot of career left, because this was only like 4 years into my career at this point. He goes, I think you have a long career ahead of you. You just need to be guided the right way.
Right.
No decision I make will be made without your consent. So I went with Matt Cater. It was the greatest decision I ever made. This guy, still to this day, I pick up the phone and call him. He answers or he calls me back immediately. And I'm not a player anymore.
Right.
But that's the relationship we have. He'll watch a game on TV and he'll text me while I'm working. Man, you're doing a great job, man. So proud of you. Happy for you.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't have to do that crap.
Right.
And he's the one where I was going to go to Phoenix on a 3-year contract.
Right.
And he said, I think you should go to the Red Wings, man. And that decision added like 2 or 3 years onto my career. So you got to find the right guy. Carey, I don't know if you have a horror story.
Well, my first agent, great guy, but I realized that the connections that were required weren't available. And so sometimes it's about relationships in everything you do. Business is about relationships, who you have a relationship with, who you can get on the phone with, and they answer
you
the
have
phone.
access to.
They answer or they call you back, and they're looking forward to speaking with you. And so my first agent, great guy, I just didn't feel like he had those connections, and that was one of the hardest things, was firing him. Like, I was like, hey man, I gotta let you go. And this was my rookie year. Like, I went in, was undrafted to the Colts, and I was like, yeah, after I got released by the Colts and I'm waiting, I'm like, yeah, this is not going in the direction I needed to go. And then I hired another agent based out of Chicago who was trying to get me coming out of college, and didn't like his approach to begin with. Felt like he lied. I don't like people. Don't lie to me. Tell me the truth. I don't care what it is. Just tell me the truth. Let me process it and deal with it. Went back to him, and he actually worked well for me. But it's about relationships. You have to be, and if you're an undrafted rookie like I was, having those relationships with your agent are vital. Like, because you have to have a guy that is calling, pushing, pulling, saying, hey, you need to give my guy a chance. He can do this. He's better than this guy. He's as good as this guy. He can do, he has to be a salesman himself. Yeah. He has to be able to sell you. There is a certain amount of sales, for sure. He has to be able to sell you to a team or a franchise that is looking or has a need for that position. If you're established, like Lamar Jackson didn't use an agent. His mother helped him with his last contract. But at that point,
he's so good, it didn't matter.
Well, yeah, and it's based off of where you are and who just got paid. When you're I'm better than that guy, maybe not better than him, but I'm definitely better than him. I should get paid between those two guys.
Yeah.
And so that's how that works when you're at a certain level. But it does help to have an agent when you need to have those connections being made.
We get one from the 314. And I don't know if you guys have seen this. I have seen this. A starting player for a local high school basketball team opted to go on a spring break trip instead of playing in the state Final Four this week. How would you handle the situation if you had a teammate do that?
So hang on. Can I just ask some questions before we get into this? How old is this kid?
He's a high school kid.
So he's a senior, junior, sophomore?
Probably. I don't know. Somewhere in there.
This matters to me.
It doesn't.
It does matter to me.
It doesn't matter to me.
Because I have seen... Listen, I know it doesn't matter to you. And Carey, it doesn't matter to me, okay? But there are some kids who know that college basketball's not in the picture. It's their last spring break with all their homies. Like, they want to go,
senior spring break trip.
Carey, you coach high school football.
Which is why I would blow a gasket.
Yeah, but there's kids that played on your football team that, whether you're aware of it or not, they blew off practice or blew off games to do other things too.
And those kids didn't come back.
I know, but that's not the question. That's not the question. The question is, what would you do if it was your teammate, or is it just a teammate, or?
Yeah, if this person was your teammate.
Yeah, I'd probably say we're probably better off without him, because at some point he would have cost us the game, because his head would not have been there. He'd have been pissed off the whole time that he's not in Cancun or wherever the hell you're supposed to go.
So this is a basketball team. This is the state finals. So the final four for this team. I won't say which school it is. You can Google it and figure it out. The school.
Say school.
They were.
Say it, Carey. Say it, Carey.
This school, their spring break started, and this team earned the right to be in the Final Four and go to state.
But let me ask you this: why was it? Sorry, go ahead.
There's probably a spring break vacation planned by the family. That
sometimes by the school.
No. This is I don't know, but if it was by the school, I wouldn't assume that these kids would be. For me, if my mother, this is me as a high school junior, senior, I have literally not gone on vacations because I didn't want to miss practice in the summertime. Yeah, y'all can go. I'm not going to that. So to be in the state semis, to have an opportunity to win a state championship, whether I'm a junior, a sophomore, junior, or senior, that's an opportunity that probably doesn't present itself every single year.
Nope.
And your family and you decide that maybe the kid didn't decide, maybe his parents did, that you're going on a vacation because it's spring break and we already paid for it. Yeah, no, I'm not.
Yeah.
Dad, Mom, so what? Because this... And I think this is a point where you have to advocate for yourself. And maybe the kid wanted to go, but you have to advocate for yourself. This is an opportunity. I don't want to leave my teammates. I don't want to be a bad teammate. These are things that I am supposed to do that you all have taught me about being a good person and being accountable and being where I'm supposed to be. And now that player and that 10, I think it was more than just him. I think it's like four other players
too. So there's 5 of them.
Yeah. So let me just interject here for a second.
We couldn't be friends no more.
No, I understand.
Because I was in high school.
But let me interject here. So why would the state even have the finals in a time where there could be a spring break?
So,
why would you not say, okay, spring break, everybody can just practice, do what you want. The tournament finals will be
every school district has a different spring break.
But it's not 4 weeks difference, Carey.
It's probably 2 to 3 weeks difference. Like, my son is on spring break, not this week, but next week.
Yeah, so is my daughter.
So
we live in the same area.
Yeah, right.
Never mind. I take that one back.
So each school, I think there are maybe 2 or 3 different spring break weeks throughout the city, throughout the county, where because you don't want every school on spring break at the exact same time. So they split it up.
Yeah.
But the state tournament is all at the same. It's all at one time.
It just seems stupid to me.
It's but you know that this is the time.
So, but that's a technical thing, right?
That would be like for me coaching football, and which I know the state championship game is around Thanksgiving, and my starting quarterback says, "Yeah, we got a family vacation. We're going to Florida for Thanksgiving."
Hey, you'll be well rested.
You will be, because what are we gonna do? We're not playing.
So,
I mean, we're playing. We just ain't playing with him.
So listen, to put some perspective into this, I didn't attend one high school dance ceremony, activity, vacation, nothing. I wasn't even able to attend my high school graduation because we were playing hockey at the time. So for me, I'm an unfair audience because I gave up all of that.
Me too.
Now, in fairness, when my boys were coming up playing, my one son, before his senior year, he was playing AAA hockey. Good player. And he was like, "Dad, I don't see a future in this thing for me. I've never done anything in high school. I want to be a part of homecoming. I want to be a part of the senior prom. I want to be a part of all these things with my friends before people go off to college and whatnot." Now, it was before the season started. It wasn't championship weekend. You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, that's a tough spot to be in. As a parent, for my children, I would make them commit to what they had, or fulfill their commitment to what they did for the team. That's the bottom line. Son, I'll send you on a vacation after the school year's over. You and like 3 of your buddies, you guys, or the 4 guys, I would talk to the other parents. Be like, let's get together, let's send these 4 on a vacation, and once the season's over.
To be fair, the school district that it's in is a very nice school district.
It's a very nice one.
Very nice school district.
Some would say.
I don't count people's pockets. But it's a very good school
Usually
district.
people have 4 pockets.
I don't count any of them.
Unless you're Michael Jackson, you got all those pockets.
The zippers on the
jacket
pocket.
there. That'd be confusing. Where would you put your keys? Where would you put your wallet?
I think, you always put it in your front pocket.
Do you? But they had them on the front pocket and jacket.
Well, you don't want to put it there because that's kind of awkward digging in.
Yeah, but he was kind of weird.
Maybe.
All we'll say is
he kept his glove. Put on.
That's when he lost his one glove.
That's what we'll say. This story hits home a little bit.
I bet it does, Marshy.
I bet it does.
And if you at home haven't figured that out, do a little digging. You'll see what Marshy says. Yeah. All right, that was advice with former athletes. We're going to roll this right into a Sports Six-Pack segment 1. So again, Air Comfort Service text line 314-399-9646. Get your questions in now. We'll get to that. We come back on 101 ESPN.
Fellas, it's Carey Davis, and if you have not tried Blue Chew, I don't know what you're waiting for. If you could benefit from a little extra in the bedroom, Blue Chew can help. And if you're ready for a great offer, how about free? Go to BlueChew.com and get your first month free when you use our promo code WXOS at checkout. Pay $5 for shipping, and that's BlueChew.com, promo code WXOS, and receive your first month free. Fellas, your partner wants you to do whatever it takes to make your sex life better, and Blue Chew is your secret weapon in the bedroom or wherever you want to get it on. Blue Chew is an online prescription service, so there are no visits to the doctor's office, no awkward conversations, and no waiting in line at the pharmacy, and it ships right to your door in a discreet package. Nobody has to know. Blue Chew's tablets are made in the USA, and they prepare and ship direct, so it's cheaper than the pharmacy. We know pro athletes like myself, like Jamie, we trained every day, all the time to perform better. We wanted to be the best version of ourselves. But what if you can improve your performance without any training? No training required. That's right, BlueChew.com. Turn oh no into oh yes. BlueChew.com. Be ready to chew it and do it.
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions. I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six-Pack is now.
Welcome back here to the Fast Lane, 101 ESPN. We have asked you for your questions. Sports Six-Pack. Marshy, what do we got?
Question number 1.
All right, so we had some penalties last night because Pavel Buchnevich got hit in the head. Wasn't a great thing to see, but it was good to see that he came back in that game. We had a question from the 573. Jamie, can you explain how the penalty situations worked last night? Neighbors gets roughing and fighting. Bolduc serves one of the penalties.
Yeah, so this is the new, we'll call it scapegoat call for the referees. Because realistically, on that play, McCarron should get the 5-minute headshot to Pavel Buchnevich, 5 minutes for fighting. Jake Neighbors goes after him because he's sticking up for his teammate. Ordinarily, they would have called that an instigator. It would have been 2 minutes for instigating, 5 for fighting, and a 10-minute misconduct for Jake Neighbors. Put him in the box for a total of 17 minutes.
Eesh.
The new cop-out for referees is we're going to give him a 2-minute roughing and then a 5-minute fighting. And the reason Zach Bolduc has to go sit the penalty is because the 2-minute penalty is a separate penalty from the 5-minute penalty. So after the 2 minutes is up, one player can leave the box, but it's the player serving the minor penalty. That's why Jake Neighbors stayed in. The one last night that really got under my skin, and I don't even remember what I said on the air, but I know I basically said this is crap, is Tyler Tucker hits Evangeliste, and the referee gives him 2 minutes for head contact, 2 minutes for roughing, and a 5-minute fighting. Meanwhile, Smith dropped his gloves 15 feet away from Tyler Tucker and charged at him to start the fight.
Yeah.
How did Tyler Tucker get an extra 2 on that? It makes no sense at all.
I was in the kitchen making food when that happened, and I turned the corner, but all I can hear is "that's crap" from Jamie or whatever you said. I was like, "Whoa, what?" I ran back. I'm like, "What happened? What happened?"
Well, it was like it's a made up. Like he made up a penalty, like out of nowhere. Like there was no roughing. There was the head contact and the fighting. At no other point was there a roughing. So that was puzzling to me. So, yeah, right now, apparently, NHL penalties are like that box of chocolates, boys, like we talked about yesterday. You never know what you're going to get.
Question number 2.
All right, from the 801, which away arena always has the most Blues fans in attendance? It seems like there were a lot of them in Nashville.
Oh, man, yeah, there was a sea of Blues jersey. It was awesome. You know, I come out to the bench to do the bench interview, and I usually come out 3-4 minutes before the players get out there because I don't want to be in the way in the hallway and things like that. And the bench was surrounded by Blues people.
Really?
It was awesome. They were cheering. They had signs made wearing their jerseys with pride. And Nashville certainly has a great representation. Vegas always seems to have a great representation. Heck, when we were in Utah, there were a bunch of Blues jerseys. It's pretty wild, man, that there's so many Blues fans all over the league.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. But last night, it was a little overwhelming in a really positive way to come out and you're like, whoa, like you're surrounded by Blues jerseys, almost like a home game. It's pretty cool.
It's awesome.
Question number 3.
All right, this next question comes from the 636. We all know the Cardinals are going to be a back half team in Major League Baseball this year. Will they be closer to the number 15 team or the number 30 team?
Ooh.
What say you, Carey?
Ooh. So middle of the pack or dead last in the pack? Can we go 23?
That sounds about right.
22, 23?
It sounds like someone's on the fence.
Nah, it sounds like a team that's probably. Listen, I hope I'm wrong. I hope I hope we get so many damn texts saying, Carey, you don't know nothing. Stick to football. You don't know anything about I hope we do. I hope Ivan Herrera throws out every damn runner that tries to run.
Silly.
No, I'm being silly.
No, you're being silly.
I hope he throws out every damn runner. I hope Nolan Gorman hits 40 bombs and only strikes out, 70 times. Okay, maybe it'd be great. I hope Nolan Arenado is batting cleanup, and damn it, you know who Nolan Arenado is. I hope you remember his damn name. I hope Wilson Contreras is a Gold Glove damn first baseman. I hope Steven Matz shoves. I hope he goes and he pitches at a Cy Young level and does not miss a start. You know what I'm saying? Miles Michaelis is a true number 2 or number 3. Fetty, Sonny Gray, they are both number 1s. That's what I hope. Hope Jordan Walker is your everyday right fielder, doesn't have an error, doesn't have a mistake in the outfield, doesn't damn chase the damn sliders away. I hope he doesn't see a slider. He sees a slider at lunch and walks away from it. Right? He don't even want to eat sliders.
Yeah.
What is it? The little burger. I have to stay the hell away from those things. I don't want any of them. This is what I want. I hope I'm wrong.
Those are so good, though.
Yeah. He can't even eat those. Stay away from them. In every facet of life, don't touch.
What if it's a slider inside?
No, don't touch it. Stay away.
What if it's a hanging slider?
Hey, you can't.
A hanging slider, Carey.
Until you show me that you can avoid them for a certain amount of time, stay the hell away from them. Sliders at the plate, at both plates, at the dinner plate and at home plate.
What if he drives by and he gets a whiff of that Burger King smell and has to stop on the side of the road?
Keep damn driving. You hear me? Don't touch it. This is what I hope. I hope I'm wrong.
No.
I don't think I am.
Yeah.
Say all that to say that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to say they finished somewhere about 19. Quite honestly, I think they're. I don't think they're
2 spots better than me. 3 spots.
Way better. It's way different, Carey. You know that. I don't think they're going to be as bad as people think, but certainly not as good as we'd like them to be. All right, that's the first half of the Sports Six-Pack. Keep the questions coming. 314-399-9646. We'll get into Six-Pack Part 2 when we return here on 101 ESPN. Sports betting at its finest, and you'll find that at Circa Sports Illinois, the app. Derek Stevens, the owner of Circa Las Vegas, man, has he done a great job with that casino. He promised everyone the world's largest sports book when he was building that casino in downtown Las Vegas. He didn't disappoint. He provided the world with the largest sports book, and now he's providing everyone with that sportsbook right to the palm of your hand. It's got that old school Vegas model, super easy to use. It's pretty easy to find too. You can visit their website or find them on the App Store. And it's got they've got great lines for all of their futures bets, tight money line splits. The odds are fantastic, better than any other app that's out there on the market. So to do yourself a favor, download some of the other apps and compare the odds. You'll see that Circa Sports has the best odds, which means they've got the best payouts as well, and that's really all that matters. Got high betting limits, too, for people who want to get a little adventurous, and you will absolutely love betting on the app. So please don't miss out on the action. Download and bet like a pro with your Circa Sports Illinois app today and join in on all the excitement. If you or someone you know may have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six Pack is now.
Welcome back here to the Fast Lane 101 ESPN. We are keeping up with the Sports Six Pack Part 2. Marshy.
Question number 4.
All right, this next one comes from Grant Francis Fan Club. Should the Blues look to re-sign Radek Faksa, or would he be blocking prospects?
This is a tough one for me. I'll just be completely honest. I absolutely love Radek Faksa. I do. I think he's an awesome dude, an incredible teammate. He does all of the dirty, ugly things that nobody wants to do, and he does them with a smile on his face. So that's tough for me because I think moving forward, personally, I feel like you only have room for one of either Oskar Sundqvist or Radek Faksa. Like if next year's roster probably has Thomas, Schenn, Dvorsky, and then Sundqvist/Faksa as your fourth line center. If you're moving the ball ahead like you're supposed to be, that's kind of the way it should look.
So would Sonny be the fourth line? Like, let's
Sonny's
say...
currently under contract for like $1 million. So again, it would become Faksa versus Sundqvist. If you re-signed Faksa. I could be crazy. Now, is there a world where you could put Faksa at center, Sonny on right, and somebody on left? You could, but here's where, in my opinion, you run into a bit of trouble. Sonny and Faksa are not the fleetest of foot.
Right.
And right now when they're split up, Sonny, it doesn't matter. He's got Bolduc and Joseph zipping around the ice all over the place. Faksa has Toropchenko and Walker zipping around all over the place. Put them on the same line. I worry that the team speed takes a little bit of a beating at that point. So I love Radek Faksa. I'd like to see that there's a world where he comes back as a Blue. But I think that if he comes back as a Blue, it's because they've moved on from Oskar Sundqvist. And same token, I love Oskar Sundqvist. I love what he brings to the team and what he has brought to this team for years. And if Oskar Sundqvist is here, then I don't believe Radek Faksa can be here. That's just my opinion. Doesn't mean I know anything at all about it. But, it's just the way I look at it. What are you looking at, Marshy?
I'm just looking at Matthew Joseph's contract.
He's got one more year, I believe.
He does have one more year. Okay, so I'm thinking if there's two players that we're really keying in on here, it's Dalibor Dvorsky and Jimmy Snuggerud. And how do you get them both on your roster, or do both?
If they're both ready.
Are they both on the roster? Yeah, are they ready?
Who knows?
If they're both ready, somebody is off. And that just,
is Texier probably the odd man out here?
I mean,
he is right now in the lineup.
He's not playing.
It's been a month that he hasn't played a game.
Yeah.
Right.
So, and Jim Montgomery does not seem motivated to change his lineup, nor would I be.
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Like, why would you change it just for the sake of changing it? And this is what happens to players like Texier. I'll just say player X, Y, or Z. It doesn't matter because it happens all across the league. When a team that is desperate for points starts to put their game together, you're not messing with that chemistry. You're not messing with the lineup that you have.
Right.
So as a player like Texier, you just have to be a very good teammate, show up, work hard every day. And when and if your opportunity comes, you got to seize it, man. Don't give it back to somebody else.
Yeah.
So I would like to think that Dvorsky would have an opportunity to play here next year. Snuggerud to be determined. But, having Faksa and Sundqvist in the same lineup, or at least in the same line, I just don't know if that works out the best.
Well, we'll find out, right?
Yep.
Question number 5.
From the 636, why can't we ever talk good about the Cardinals? We had a top 5 bullpen last year that Ollie managed the crap out of. Okay, enough pitching depth to get you excited for mid-year, and so much offensive upside, it's not even funny. We're about a week away from opening day. Let's get some good vibes going. Come on, fellas.
Okay, a couple things. Bullpen, great. I'm happy for the bullpen. Offensive upside, so much. What is the offensive upside? But how is this so much? Nolan Arenado, he's going to regain form? Lars Nootbaar's going to be healthy? He's going to actually achieve the numbers that he's supposed to? Nolan Gorman's going to hit the ball and not strike out? Jordan Walker's going to hit the ball and not strike out? Is that the offensive upside?
Yeah. I broke it down to you for you earlier. All those things go well. You got a good team.
Yeah.
Hopefully that's what happens.
Unfortunately, it hasn't happened.
Right. I think a lot of people
Can you read the second part? You said bullpen, then you said starting pitching what?
enough pitching depth to get you excited for mid-year.
What's mid-year? All-Star break?
Okay. I won't argue. Having depth is cool.
It's never good when Carey says cool.
Well, I think so. There is the hope.
Stars?
There's the hope that these players take that next step forward, but it's hard for the people out there who watch this team to really get excited about a team for the past 2 years who have not been playing that well.
So
they haven't done anything to make me feel comfortable oh yeah, this is definitely going to happen. I have to wait and see. Yeah. I will, if this team plays well to start the year off, I'm going to be behind them. I will be. But I haven't seen anything in the last 2 years to tell me otherwise.
That's the correct answer.
Yeah. They clarified and said minor leaguers when they're speaking of depth. Well,
I'm excited about them, but they're not going to be on the team.
So for
Victor
next year,
Scott is not even going to be on the team. He's your best center fielder in the whole spring training.
For this year, the depth matters not. Because you probably aren't going to see much of those guys from how it looks now. I mean, you're going to see Steven Matz, you're going to see Miles Michaelis, Eric Fetty, Sonny Gray, Andre Palante. And if they have a sixth starter for the first 2 weeks of the year, Michael McGreevy, then they'll send him back down and say, fast lane, you guy. Good job. Appreciate you. Yeah. I don't know that that's the depth that we are looking for.
It's depth. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah. I don't have a. I don't know, man. I hope
it's cool.
I don't. It's cool. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool.
That's Carey's mailing in. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, cool.
Sure.
Question number 6.
Get 6
from the 217. What?
Shame on him. He comes back and we do all 6 questions.
Shame on him in a timely fashion.
I'm managing the clock real good here today.
Good job.
All right, from the 217, what are the chances that Minnesota plays poor enough to not make the playoffs?
There is a chance. I don't know if they don't make the playoffs, but they're only 6 points ahead of the Blues and the Canucks right now.
I said this the other day.
They're
Did
only
I
6
not?
points ahead. They've got a tough schedule coming up. They're not playing well. If the problem here now is the Blues and the Canucks play tomorrow night. It's not a problem. It's going to be great for one of those teams because somebody's going to win tomorrow night and get 2 points. Mm-hmm. And that helps, obviously, in the standings. But the Wild are not so far out of reach. Now, the runway is short, but they have not been playing very well. So if they go 3-7 in their next 10 games, and let's say the Blues go 6-4, you're right there, man. You're right there. And if that's the case, I mean, you just never know at that point.
Would you rather take on Winnipeg if you're the Blues or the Vegas Golden Knights?
So let me break this up into 2 answers, okay? Would I rather go to Winnipeg or would I rather go to Vegas for an extended period of time? I'd like to go to Las Vegas.
We're talking about the Blues, not you.
I said, let's split this up. I had 2 answers, guys.
Okay.
You guys don't listen to me.
I thought you were talking about as a player.
In a relationship, guys, it's important that you listen.
Right.
Carey, you told us all about it one day.
You got to listen.
You did.
You
okay?
can't overtalk. I apologize.
Okay. So, again, 2 answers. Would I rather go to Winnipeg or Las Vegas? Las Vegas. Now, who would I rather play in a hockey game? The Winnipeg Jets. Do you know why?
Do tell.
Because their goaltender stinks in the playoffs.
Okay, part of it.
Okay.
You're almost there. Really good. Las Vegas still has a whole bunch of guys with Stanley Cup pedigree in that lineup. They got a lot of real big bodies still on that blue line that can play pretty well for you. Jack Eichel's pretty good player, pretty dominant player up front too. Ivan Barbashev, all these guys that know what it takes to win.
Yeah.
Winnipeg has nobody that knows how to win. So if Connor Hellebuck has a bad game, picture this for a second, okay? Game 1 in Winnipeg. Blues, road game. Somehow they got out a gritty win on a questionable goal.
They score with, less than 20 seconds left on a shot from the side of the the hash marks or
off
something.
somebody's stick midair.
Yeah, it goes right
something
in.
like that could happen. Yeah. I like that scenario, Marshy, by the way. Man, it's almost like you've seen that before.
Yeah, very descriptive.
Either way,
I get that.
let's say something like that happens, or even worse. It goes off of like somebody hits Hellebuck and it squeaks through and in the net, game over. The Winnipeg media are going to be like, Hellebuck can't win the big one. Can Scheifele get it done? All of a sudden, all of the pressure goes back onto the Winnipeg Jets, and the Blues are sitting there with house money.
Yeah.
Because everybody wrote them off halfway through the season. And now you've got a goaltender advantage. You might have a team advantage. Their defensive core for the Blues is better than the Jets' defensive core. I think the walls start caving in on the Jets if they lose a game, and that's a team that you could beat.
Well, they got spanked last night.
They did, by the damn Canucks. Way to go, Jets, you pieces of crap. All right, that's your Sports Six Pack here in the fast lane. Speaking of the Blues, has Dylan Holloway changed the dynamic of the Blues? Let's get into that next here on 101 ESPN. Johnny Londoff Chevrolet. They've been in the business for over 80 years, and it's no secret. Yeah, they have great vehicles, great prices, all that stuff. But it's their customer service. It really is. They treat you like family when you go to the Londoff Chevrolet locations. I know this. I've been a customer for over 25 years, a friend of the Londoff family for roughly the same amount. My kids drive Londoff Chevrolet vehicles because I trust Londoff Chevrolet. And it's not just one location anymore. You got the original location in Florissant, Missouri, and you've got the Londoff Autoplex located out in St. Peters, and Johnny Londoff mostly at the Florissant, Missouri one. Jim Saffo doing an unbelievable job with the Londoff Autoplex out in St. Peters, and that's what it's all about, getting a vehicle for the right price and knowing that you're getting treated with special care, like family. Now, that's what Johnny Londoff and the Chevrolet team do for everybody who comes in there. So again, visit either location. They've got great inventory, whether it's brand new or pre-owned. When you walk in there, please tell them Jamie Rivers sent you in. They actually do love hearing that. And if you can't get there in person, get there online. Visit Londoff.com or LondoffAutoplex.com. Are you kidding me?
Johnny Londoff Chevrolet.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Blues with a 4-1 victory over the Nashville Predators last night. They'll take on the Vancouver Canucks tomorrow night, and you can listen to that game right here on 101 ESPN. Pregame starts at 5:30. Puck drop is at 6:30. We'll talk with Blues head coach Jim Montgomery at 5 o'clock, so stay tuned for that. Also, before that, at 4:30, we'll talk with Battlehawks head coach Anthony Becht. Also, stay tuned for that one. But we're going to dive back into the Blues. Has Dylan Holloway changed the dynamic of the Blues and their core? We'll discuss that next right here in the Fast Lane. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Blues win the face-off, and Holloway breaks out with Carey 2-on-1. Holloway in to Carey, score! 6:15 to go in the third period, and Jordan Kyrie's going to send some fans to the exits. It's 4-1, St. Louis.
That was last night in Nashville, the Blues victory. The voice on that was the voice of none other than Chris Kerber, here from 101 ESPN, the Blues Radio Network. All right. So, guys, I think it's time to have that talk right now about Dylan Holloway. And let's just isolate him to start with. I actually have more players in mind that I'd like to add to this in a little bit. But, Carey, Dylan Holloway, in 69 games for the Blues, has 22 goals, 32 assists for 54 points. He is a plus 13.
Not bad.
So the emergence of Dylan Holloway this year and what he's been able to provide for the Blues, has he changed the dynamic of the Blues core?
Well, yeah, I think you got a player, you got this guy that Army decided to offer sheet, and he has championship pedigree. Almost championship pedigree. He was there.
Pretty close.
He was in the championship game.
At least he got a taste of what it feels like.
He knows what it feels like to have gone through those emotions, that roller coaster, that whole experience. And so you get a guy that, played 38 games last year and it's almost doubled his game so far this year. He's done a great job. He's been one of the missing pieces that I think this team needed. He's added an element of shot making and playmaking ability that this team desperately needed. You had Booch and you had Carey and Thomas, and now you add another player that is on that level, in my opinion, that caliber of player. I think he's done a great job. I think he's been one of the key components that this team needed moving forward. And he's young, right? He's what, 23?
23.
He's young. He's a guy that you're going to help, that's going to help be built around. This future is going to be built around him and the other guys. So, yeah, he's definitely a key cog in what they've been doing and how they have gotten to this part right now.
He's a guy that if you have on your team, you couldn't pry my cold, dead hands from this kid. Imagine the Oilers decided to just let him walk. I still, for the life of me, not just me, the hockey world will never understand how that went down.
Yeah.
But this, again, we talked about it a little bit yesterday, and we'll continue that conversation. Like, if we're looking at the core of the Blues lineup moving forward, okay, you got Braden Shen, Justin Falk, Cam Fowler. You have those guys. So we'll call that the OGs, the first layer.
Okay.
But in the next 2 to 4 years, that layer is going to look a lot different. Mm-hmm. So in the next 2 to 4 years, what does your core look like? I think the obvious ones are Carey and Thomas. Pavel Buchnevich, long-term deal on that one there. But then it's Jake Neighbors. It's Dylan Holloway. It's Zach Bolduc. Mm-hmm. Hopefully Dvorsky and Snuggerud.
Right.
And then on defense, you got your Broberg. Parayko will still be part of that core. The defense is where I am a little bit apprehensive because I don't feel like the depth is there from a young player standpoint. But they do have a number of young defensemen that were drafted, and now it's going to depend on who can emerge from the group. But when you look at that, it reminds me a lot of when, Ken Hitchcock took over the team for the Blues, and they had that next layer. So the Keith Tkachuks, the Doug Waits, and all that were now gone or on their way out of the league. And you had the David Backes, TJ Oshie, Berglund, Steen, Petro, like that, Schwartz. That wave of players is very similar to what you have here.
Right.
Now, if that's the case, CD, St. Louis Blues fans are looking at a run of 7 to 10 years of being not just a playoff team, but there will be a window at some point of them being a contender, hopefully a championship team.
I said yesterday that their window it might be opening now. Like it might be if they're able to push their way into the playoffs. Now this is not. There are different windows. Like there's your team that is building window, your young team, and they're figuring things out. Then there's your playoff window where you get bounced in the first round or second round, and then there's your championship window where you're making it to the conference finals and you're making it to the Stanley Cup final, and that's when you're in that championship window. And I think right now, especially if they make it to the playoffs, this is their playoff window. This is a team that can make some noise, but probably not win the whole thing as they're constructed just yet because there's some growth you have to go through. It's very rare for a team to have struggled and bring these new pieces in and then be a Stanley Cup champion. Mm-hmm. Right? That's a rare thing. You got to kind of go through the fire and play some teams that have been through this moment and they're ready to be in their championship window. So I think the Blues are in a great place. I think that you're spot on with the defense, with the D-men, because those guys, some of them are a little bit long in the tooth. They're a little bit older.
They're really good players, but it only lasts for so long.
You have to infuse some youth there, and hopefully Tucker, maybe Kessel can be what you need him to be as well. But you're going to have to get some youth there as well. But I do think that this team is in their potentially their playoff window where they're going to give some teams hell. They may not win the series, but the team that they're playing against is going to know, in 2-3 years, it's going to be a problem.
It is. So let's play a game real quick. We got a couple of minutes before we got to go to break, but there's something I wanted to go over here, and I'm going to pull it up real quick on the interwebs here because I don't have that information off the top of my head, but the computer does. Okay, Carey. So Dylan Holloway and Philip Broberg have one more year after this year under contract with the Blues. This offseason, if you're Doug Armstrong and Alex Steen, are you calling their agents looking to lock them up like 8-year deals?
Sure.
Do you have a problem with 8 years for either of those players?
No, I don't, because they are part of your core. Like they are guys that are going to be here, and like I said, with Robert Thomas and Jordan Kyrou and Pavel Buchnevich, Jake, like they are all in that new core of players. You definitely want to have them around. 6.5.
I don't care what the number is, to be honest, because Philip Broberg is probably your second or third best defenseman. By the time, probably third best defenseman right now. Parayko and Fowler are pretty damn good players. Broberg's right there, though. Mm-hmm. Like, imagine where Broberg's going to be at 27, 28. He's going to be dominant in this league. So I think, quite honestly, it would be a crime if Army doesn't get to the bargaining table with them this offseason. Now, let's go one step further. Cam Fowler has one more year after this year at $4 million with the Blues. Based on what you're seeing from Cam Fowler, if you're Doug Armstrong this offseason, do you call his agent and say, hey, what are you thinking?
Yes, 2 to 3 years would be my.
Yeah.
I don't think he's 33 right now.
33.
So you give him a 2 or 3 year deal, keep him around 35, 36. I'm okay with that. And if he's still performing, maybe we can go 1 year deals after that.
And for me, the dollar amount doesn't matter.
Right.
It really doesn't. Like, he's making $4 million now. He's probably not going to make more than that.
Right.
At the end of his career, he's not going to try and kick the can again for $6, $7, $8 million a year. Mm-hmm. Would he maybe want to be like $5 million? He's probably worth it based on where he ranks on your team.
And
he's probably going to want a 4-year deal, 4 or 5. Players always want they want that one extra year.
You said I'm Army. I can give you 2 to 3.
I know.
This is where the negotiations kick in.
But how bad? But based upon our needs on defense, in the next,
and his agent know that, and so does he.
100%. So based upon the needs, right? Wouldn't it be great to have Fowler, Parayko, Broberg, and let's see, Falk has another year after that. So you got till the end of 27 with Justin Falk. So you got your top 4D locked up. Now you can tinker, whether it's Lindstein, Tucker, Kessel, Suter for another year, Leddy for another, whatever it is, but you can start integrating some of that youth so that when Fowler, Parayko, or Fowler, Falk, and all those guys come due, like when they're really done.
They slide back.
They slide back, and then they slide out eventually.
I'm not opposed to it. I think, I don't know if you bring Suter back, maybe you bring him back for another year, but
I told you how I bring him back.
Wow.
Knowing full well that you may play half the games.
Yeah.
If you play more, it's a bonus, but expect you're going to play 40 games.
Okay.
You will be a 6-7 defenseman. You won't be a top 4.
Right.
If you cannot handle that, which he may not, which is fine.
Right.
Over 1,500 games, he could say, go spit.
Right.
I'm like, okay, fine. But if you want to come back, this is how it's going to be.
I'm okay with that. I think that is the important part, getting those guys locked up, especially if you think they are a part of your future and the core of what you need going forward. And I think the best way to go about it is when you just transition players out and you transition young guys in. Now the guys that were in the middle become the upper tier guys, and they're the leaders of the clubhouse, of the locker room, of the dressing room. They are the ones that now take over the roles of a Braden Shin when his time is up, because at some point it's going to be up.
Yeah.
It's the circle of life.
It's the circle of life.
It's just what it is. So you start to bring those younger players in, and those players that learned under a player like Shin learn how to lead in that way. And then we're not getting rid of Shin right now.
No, we're not.
In general,
for me, Shin ends his career with a blue note on his chest. I mean, I think you just have to do it. But yeah, I go back to the defense, and I think that there's no better way to bring along your young talent than to have solid veteran players in front of them to where they watch, they learn, and they don't have the pressure of playing every night against the other team's top lines. And people who thought Cam Fowler was old, when I watch him skate, his skating ability is phenomenal.
He's under control too.
And Nick Leddy too. Like, these guys have like speed to burn still. Cam Fowler made a play yesterday. I was a bit of a bobble puck. 3 strides there, he caught the guy, took the puck from him. I was like, okay, he can still play.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not worried about him.
We're getting questions about Torrey Krug. Where does he fit in with this?
Well, listen, that's an unknown, right? Because the injury that he has, or the surgery rather that he has, to my knowledge, I've done research, I haven't seen one athlete come back and play after that. Does it mean he can't do it? No, it doesn't at all. I'm sure Torrey Krug is going to do everything he possibly can to get back into the lineup, and he's going to want to end his career with him being in control of his career. But right now, you have to move on and manage your team as if he's not a part of it right now, because he isn't. That's the bottom line. And if Torrey Krug becomes 100% healthy, then you've got decisions to make, okay? That's the way I look at it. All right, we are going to need a Gauntlet contestant today. That's coming up in roughly 12 minutes, so please text Gauntlet to 314-399-9646. But coming up next, we are going to get into some March Madness predictions. We have all drawn up our brackets. I mean, mine is phenomenal. Carey, I can't wait to show you that. But all that coming up next here on 101 ESPN. Jamie Rivers back with you here, talking with my great friend Katie from Elite Comfort Experts. Katie, it is springtime, which means it is air conditioning maintenance season for most homeowners. What is the number one complaint you hear around this time of year?
Oh, it's definitely the timing of when the AC goes out. It's always at the worst time, not just in the 90-degree heat, but when you're turkey hunting, fishing, out with your buddies watching March Madness, or even watching the Blues fight for a playoff spot.
Katie,
we actually did have a gentleman call last month to sign up for the Elite Comfort Club just before he went trout fishing. He wanted to make sure that his family and their home would be taken care of while he was gone.
Well, that's important, too. And you guys over at Elite Comfort Experts are all about the customer. And your slogan, no gimmicks, just guarantees. Can you tell our listeners what you guys mean by that?
Well, when we have a technician in your home, they are going to be honest with you. They're going to show you whatever needs to be done, explain why it needs to be done, and work with you through the process. So we stand behind all the work that we do. If you've got a question, you're more than welcome to reach out and ask any additional questions. We want to make sure that every homeowner understands what we're doing in your home.
Yeah, you should. Absolutely. Reach out to my friends over at Elite Comfort Experts. It's pretty easy. You can find them online at EliteComfortExperts.com. Again, that's EliteComfortExperts.com. Katie, thank you so much for your time, as always.
Have a great afternoon, Jamie.
It's a Fast Lane here, 101 ESPN. Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers with you here. It is that time of year, fellas. March Madness time. And I'm sure we all have some really bold predictions. I don't know if mine's all that bold. I have tried to go bold with my bracket in the past, and by the end of Friday, on the very first week, I'm done. Like, it's over, Carey. Like, it's over. Like, no,
quickly.
I don't even look at my bracket paper anymore after that.
You shred it.
So I changed my approach this year.
Okay. What are you doing?
I am going all chalk.
Oh,
Almost. So I've got Duke coming out of their bracket. I've got Houston. And then I've got a little bit of a mix-up here, a little shuffle the deck. I went with UConn coming out of their area instead of Florida.
Okay, I like that one, actually.
Yeah, and then I've got, then chalk with Auburn in the South. So I've got chalk in the South, chalk in the East, and chalk in the Midwest. But I've got UConn coming out of the West. But I don't have UConn getting to the final.
Okay.
I've got Auburn and Duke
in the final,
and I got Duke taking it.
Okay. For me, I've done so many of these, so it's hard for me to keep up. I would have to look at it. I know I have.
Wait, are you a several bracket guy?
I got 4.
Why?
Jamie, I'd like to have multiple.
No, but that sounds like you just keep trying. Like you're allowed more than one shot at it.
Well, one. So I explained this when BK was on. One is I'm going to choose Illinois to be the national champion.
That's just a huge mistake.
I know.
So throw that one away.
Sounds like a hater.
It's realistic.
The other, I tend to go chalk, right? Somewhat similar. Let me finish.
You're just wishy-washy.
No, I got a system here.
No, you don't.
The third.
I'll do 12 brackets. Then.
Nah,
make sure I cover all the bases.
And you still won't get it right. That's just how it works. The third is like the bracket that I really think is the one.
So why wouldn't you just use that one?
Because I got to have Illinois winning one of them. So maybe I should just do 2. But, it is what it is. And then the last one.
Another one.
Yeah, I said 4.
I know, but they keep getting bigger. My goodness.
It happens.
The more you
the more you are there. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The last one is kind of one of those where it is chaos. Because chaos is bound to happen. Now, between those 4 brackets, none of them are correct. But
so then, do you just take pieces from each bracket until you're satisfied with what the result is?
Yeah, I'm right.
Yeah.
And
that sounds fun, Carey.
I got all 64 teams right where they're supposed to be.
Yeah. See? Sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Not. Marshy, how many brackets do you have?
I'm only doing one.
Okay, thank you.
I have one tried and true bracket. And I have in my final 4, Auburn.
Who?
Taking on Florida.
Oh.
I have Wisconsin taking on Tennessee. Tennessee.
Wow.
And I have Florida defeating Auburn in the Final 4. I have Tennessee taking down Wisconsin for a all-SEC championship matchup between the Volunteers and the Gators. And I'm sorry, Gator in the snake pit. I'm going with the Tennessee Volunteers to win the national championship.
Gator's pissed. He's going to sign out of the snake pit. He's pissed.
That's tough.
Wow. My biggest upset of the tournament, I said it the other day, give me the Bryant Bulldogs over Michigan State.
You got that one, huh? I don't know. I went with...
they're not going to like my biggest upset.
What's yours, buddy?
Drake over Mizzou.
Yeah. Of course it is. I mean,
that's one of them.
I mean, it's right on brand. Literally right on brand.
Yeah. Why wouldn't it be?
I've never met anybody who hates Mizzou more.
I love Mizzou. I paid them all this money.
Yeah, you don't love them.
That's probably why I don't love them. I paid them all this damn money.
But your daughter got a great education.
She did. Happy for her. Doesn't say Illinois on it. Can't help her.
Why didn't she go to Illinois then, Carey?
Yeah, Mizzou in-state tuition.
Oh.
And actually... So we went on a visit to both schools. Mm-hmm. I can say this in full transparency. Now, the weather was much different. Illinois, it was freezing. It was raining. We're walking around.
Are you saying Champagne's no Columbia?
I didn't say that. What I said was the weather that particular day was terrible. And the tour wasn't as nice.
Were you there with the tour?
Yeah, I was there for both of them.
Why was the tour not great if you were on campus there where you you've told us you ran the campus?
I did the tour guided, the guided tour with the school that she,
wouldn't you highlight things that are great there?
Hey, I wanted her to see what classes she would be attending.
Sounds like she thought Illinois was inferior.
She would be in. No. We both agreed that Mizzou was a better overall tour experience. Mm-hmm. And again, in-state tuition. I live in Missouri. I don't live in Illinois.
Makes sense.
In-state tuition.
You got all that NFL money, Carey.
See, I told you earlier about counting people's pockets.
I just went back and checked. I actually have Illinois losing in the first game.
Oh, wow.
I do.
Let's see here.
Against who I believe will be Texas.
Which one's Illinois in here?
The Midwest.
Yeah, I have them beating Texas and losing to Kentucky next.
See, I got them beating Kentucky. So Illinois, to me, just like Mizzou, if they get out of the first round, they could make it all the way to the Elite Eight. And if you can make it to the Elite Eight, you can make it to the Final Four. Mizzou could make a run, or they could lose to Drake. Like I think, because it depends on which Mizzou team shows up. It depends on which Illinois team shows up. Like these teams, and I said this to BK, you were here, both of these teams at one point were potentially 2 or 3 seeds. Like they could have been, I don't know that they could have been 1.
They definitely stumbled.
But they could have been a 2 or a 3 if they had played how they played up until that point.
Yeah.
And then they both kind of had some stumbles here late, and now they're both 6 seeds. But they have the potential to be as high as a 2 or a 3. So, again, which version of those teams show up is, going to be the interesting one. I do have another.
Another bracket.
Well,
I knew you had one more.
I have another.
You get a bracket. You get a bracket. And you get a bracket.
I have another team that could be an upset. I think Memphis could lose. And the Iowa State game is intriguing to me. BK was saying they got 3 players that are out.
You're listening to
3
BK
starters.
now?
I mean, well, you should have heard him. He said Mizzou was going to beat the hell out of Drake, and I told him, BK,
well, there we go. First round loss there.
Okay.
The BKO is back.
It is what it is.
All right, be interesting to track all of this. See if our guy Anthony has a bracket. Maybe he's got 6 or 7 of those too, Carey. You guys could have fun there with all your brackets.
Yep.
All right, the Gauntlet is next here in the Fast Lane. Coming up right now.
warriors. 4 categories, 1 challenger. Can you survive the gauntlet?
Brought to you by Blue Note Roofing. Roofing, siding, and gutters. Visit BlueNoteRoofingSTL.com for a free inspection.
All right, it's 4:07. Your time check brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, official provider of Rolex jewelry. It is time for the Gauntlet. We welcome in Brent today. Brent, how you doing, man?
I'm doing well, Jamie. How are you?
I'm good, Betty. I'm good. So you got your choice of Marshy, Carey, or myself today?
I want you, Jamie.
Whoa! All right, Brent.
I don't expect I'm going to win, but we were watching hockey the other night, and I told my wife, I said, "That's a good-looking man." And she said, well, okay. I said, "Baby, you haven't seen him in a Speedo."
Well, you know what, Brent? You're a smart man. Yeah. All right, buddy. Good luck today. Have fun.
Thank you. I will.
All right, Brent, Jamie is headed off to the cone of silence, where it is silent today, I think. Tell Marshy to spin that wheel.
Spin that wheel, Marshy.
All right, Brent, I'm sure you know by now, if you answer the question correctly without the options, you get 2 points. You answer it correctly with the option, you get 1 point. And you answer incorrectly, you get no points. Marshy, what is our category today?
We have random trivia.
Good luck with that. Random is
all right.
Pretty random.
That's what I do best at. I was hoping for hockey because I figured Jamie's going to kick my ass anyway. I'd rather lose to him in hockey.
Okay.
Well, you might beat him today. You never know.
All right. Are you ready?
I'm ready, sir.
Who developed the first polio vaccine?
Options, please.
Jonas Salk, Robert Langdon, or Mehmet Oz?
Salk, final answer.
Question number 2. The NCAA tournament began in humble surroundings, starting as just an 8-team event in 1939. Where was that national championship game played? We will accept the school or the state.
Yeah, no idea, so give me the options, please.
All right. Is it Northwestern University, Indiana University, or the University of Kentucky?
Let's go with Indiana. Final answer.
Question number 3. The largest and oldest municipal police department in the United States belongs to the city of...
Crap, I should know this. I'm a cop, but give me the options.
You want the answer or you want the options? I'll give you the options. Los Angeles, Chicago, or New York?
New York.
Final answer.
Question number 4.
Answer.
How many sides does a hexagon have?
Let me see. Oof. The options won't help. Octagon is 8. Let's go with 6. Final answer.
All right, we'll get Jamie back in here. How you feel, Brent?
Not that great.
All right, well, you know, we'll see how Jamie does. This is should be right up his wheelhouse, though. He's
hockey.
He's good at this this random, actually.
Oh, God. All right.
Try to get your spirits up.
Yeah, that's fun.
Marshy, tell him.
Pack a lunch.
All right, question number 1. Who developed the first polio vaccine?
Oh, yeah. Actually, hang on. I have an idea, but let's narrow it down.
You want the options?
Yes, please.
Jonas Salk, Robert Langdon, or Mehmet Oz?
Mehmet Oz. Dr. Oz. It's Jonas Salk, or Salk, I think is pronounced that way. Final answer.
Question number 2. The NCAA tournament began in humble surroundings, starting as just an 8-team event in 1939. Where was that national championship game played? We will accept the school or the state.
I'll take the options, please.
Options are Northwestern University, Indiana University, or the University of Kentucky.
So I was thinking Indiana. I don't know why, like Hoosiers and that whole thing came to mind. And it's a high school movie. I get it. It's not college, but I'll go Indiana. Final answer.
Question number 3. The largest and oldest municipal police department in the United States belongs to the city of
New York, NYPD. Final answer.
And question number 4. How many sides does a hexagon have?
Octagon's 8. Hexagon would be 6. Final answer, please.
All right.
I feel okay with this. Not as sweaty as I usually am.
This is a good one.
This is a good one.
Ooh.
All right. Here we go. Let's start.
Oh, great. That's not good.
All right, let's start the last one we had. How many sides does a hexagon have? Brent, you said 6. Jamie, you said 6. The correct answer is...
It is 6.
Neither of you needed the options. We have a 2-2 tie. The NCAA tournament began in humble surroundings, starting as just an 8-team event in 1939. Where was that national championship game played? We will accept the school or the state. Brent, you said Indiana. Jamie, you said Indiana. They got a basketball movie there. Yeah. Correct answer is...
It is Northwestern University.
Wow.
Still a 2-2 tie. Let's go here. Who developed the first polio vaccine? Brent, you took the options. You said Jonas or Jonas Salk. Jamie, you also said Jonas or Jonas Salk. The correct answer is...
It's Jonas Salk.
We have a 3-3 tie, and it comes down to this.
Brothers.
One of the Jonas brothers. The largest
He's
and
the one that they don't talk about.
Municipal police department in the United States belongs to the city of Brent. You said New York.
Oh, come on.
Jamie, you said New York.
Oh, boy,
correct answer is...
It is New York.
But Brent, you needed the options, and Jamie didn't. Brent.
You have chosen poorly.
You lose.
Brent, we appreciate your service being a police officer.
No, he's not.
He is. I know that one's going to sit with you for a while.
Oh, Brent, the boys at the station are going to give it to you. What were the options, just out of curiosity?
Los Angeles, Chicago, New York.
Okay, so the other one that was going through my head was Boston. I was thinking East Coast because you think how they settled, you know. Oh, man, Brent, this one's going to sting at the station.
Yeah, that hurts. I'll never hear the end of it. However, I got to play you, and it was a good game, so I had a great time. I appreciate y'all. Listen to you every day.
Oh, man, that's awesome.
Brent. Good job, Brent.
Thank you for listening, man. Really appreciate you participating and being a loyal listener, man. And thank you very much for your service. Everything you do is very much appreciated.
Thank you. I do it because I love it.
Appreciate you.
Well, we love you doing it, man. Thank you. Take care, Brent.
All right, y'all have a good one.
You too.
Oh, man, the boys at the office are going to give it to him. He lost on a police question. Although
he
it's not
said
really a police question.
Well, he said, oh, I should know this one. I'm a police officer. I said, oh, yeah.
Yeah, but that doesn't
But once he answered it, it's almost, it's right. Like, you're supposed to know everything hockey.
No,
I'm supposed to know everything football.
Especially, like, historically.
Correct.
Right.
That's
like, you don't know.
But it is good ammunition, like, for your buddies, you know?
For
like,
sure.
Yeah.
If he doesn't have a text in the next 10 minutes, his buddies aren't doing it right. Well, that's awesome. All right, so we're sitting here. Let's see. How about we do this, guys? Why don't we get into Bet the Board next? Or no, we've got, Bet the Board next because we have Coach Anthony Becht coming on here at 4:30. We don't want to mess up that one. So Bet the Board coming up here next at 101 ESPN. It's the Fast Lane here, 101 ESPN. Andrew Marsh, Gary Davis, Jamie Rivers with you here. It is time for Bet the Board. Marshy, give us an update, please.
All right, so Anthony and myself, we are still tied at 7, and now, Carey, you have tied Jamie at 5.
Oh, whatever, Carey. You and your crap bets. Yeah. Brutal. All right. Yeah. Did Anthony send it in, Carey?
I don't know.
I believe so.
Did he send it in?
He might have just texted me.
Oh.
He side texts Marshy. That's the way he operates.
He wants Xavier in Texas over 151.5.
Oh, wow. That's a lot for those two teams. Good luck, Anthony.
They play tonight, don't they?
Yep. They actually, pregame or tip-off tonight here on 101 ESPN. Texas versus Xavier, 8:10. Catch it right here, 101 ESPN.
I hope they both lose.
They can't lose, both teams.
Well,
there will be a winner.
Nah, both teams can lose.
No, you can't, Carey.
And then Illinois gets first round bye.
Oh, God, Illinois.
I don't think it works like that.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
Give me Chet Holmgren, 32-plus points, rebounds, assists.
Well, that's really scraping. Wow.
Well played, Marshy.
All right, Carey, go ahead. I'll let you have the floor here.
I'm torn.
Natalie Imbruglia.
Give me, I didn't want to do this.
You didn't catch that, Marshy?
What did you say?
He says, I'm torn. I go, Natalie Imbruglia. She sings that song.
Oh,
I don't know who
I don't know
that
that is either.
Yeah, pull it up on the break in YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah, she's cute.
Give me the Denver Nuggets on the money line, minus 136.
Oh, wow.
Going against the Lakers.
Only 2 NHL hockey games, but this guy had a monster game the last game. Austin Matthews, 0.5 power play points. I'm going to go with the over. The over is paying out plus 165.
Connor McDavid had a great night last night. 3 points.
Shut your face, Carey.
He didn't. He
the
got
whole face. Not some of it, the whole face.
He didn't get a power play point, huh? They scored 7. What the hell is he doing?
3 points.
Listen, I thought it was a point. I was like, when I saw him score, I'm like, oh, Jamie hit his.
No.
And then you came in and you said, no, I said power play. I was like, oh.
I will not lie or cheat. That way, it's not fun.
3
it's just
points.
not fun.
None of them on the power play.
No, that guy's a bummer.
better. What
He'll
the hell
never
are you
do
doing?
anything in the sport of hockey.
Stinks.
This would be a great day, not today, but this weekend. Great time to maybe use a parlay.
Oh, with all the basketball? I don't know. That scares the hell out of me.
Does it?
Yeah,
I don't
because
have any.
there's so much unpredictability
That's
in
fair.
the college basketball. I mean, Carey, you should definitely double down, triple down on your line now. You got a lot of confidence there.
I do. I believe in.
I mean, pick one of your brackets and go with that one, Carey.
I should. Yeah, go make a
17 of them.
I do have a lot. You know, I'm working here. All right.
Sure you are. Oh man,
Are you gonna pick them?
Illinois.
Or bet the board?
Oh. No. I don't bet.
Spicy.
I don't, because I do the radio for the football. I stay away from all Illinois athletic. You know, man, I don't need it. But in my heart,
Well, that's weird.
Nah, I don't pick Illinois. In my heart, though.
Well, I guess that's Anthony. Fire up a line.
Illini.
Yeah.
In my heart, I bleed orange and blue, man. Cut me open. You see it. What is
It's
that?
funny, I
orange and
thought
blue
you
stuff?
bled black and gold.
Nah, that too.
Oh, wow.
It's Steeler black and gold.
I thought it was purple and black.
It is now. You're right.
Never been that.
A little bit of white, too.
No, never been purple. Never been none of that. No.
You bleed a lot of different things, Carey.
Orange and blue.
No.
Send me. Yep.
It's in you.
Send me. Orange
deep?
and blue. Deep.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
So the orange and blue is deeper inside of you than the black and gold.
I went to Illinois first. I have known them longer.
I'm just trying to understand what's further.
That was my first real major decision as a young lad.
Yeah.
Picking which college to go to. It was a
picking
tough
Illinois,
decision.
was that before or after you ignored Michigan?
That was after.
It was after. Okay. All right. So you didn't have maize and gold inside of you.
I didn't.
But you got.
I think about that sometimes,
orange.
though. I told you my dad took me.
What would it have been like?
So my dad took me. We were going on a visit, unofficial visit. So we went to Northwestern. Our plan was
purple.
Okay,
Marshy.
my dad was going to take me to Northwestern on Friday. I think it was Friday. visit the campus, and then Saturday Saturday morning we were supposed to drive up to Michigan. They were waiting. And I was like, man, Northwestern was really nice.
You got caught up in the moment.
I got caught up in it.
Yeah.
No call, no showed.
That's
and
not good.
Michigan stopped sending letters, and I couldn't understand why.
What? Maybe they lost your address.
My mom was like, what the hell are y'all doing? She said, son, let me ask you a question. If Northwestern was that nice, do you not think Michigan would have been nicer? This is why I don't let your dad do stuff. I should have took your ass up there and not him.
Yeah.
I'm like, well,
your mom's right.
She's always right.
Whether it took a 2x4 to wake you up to get you go to Michigan, you probably should have at least, set foot on campus.
I will say this, everything worked out well. That's why I bleed orange and blue now.
Oh, my goodness. Where did Anthony Becht go to college?
West Virginia.
Oh, man. We should ask him about his college experience. See if he did the same thing as Carey Davis.
You should ask him.
We should. You know what? We'll do that next here as we got the head coach for your St. Louis Battlehawks, Anthony Becht, coming up next right here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a SportsCenter update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Blues take down the Nashville Predators last night. They continue their winning ways. They'll go up against the Canucks tomorrow night. Pregame starts at 5:30. Puck drop is at 6:30. The Blues are preparing for a playoff push. The Cardinals preparing for the 2025 regular season, and so are your St. Louis Battlehawks. We'll talk with Battlehawks head coach Anthony Becht next, right here in the Fast Lane. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the SportsCenter update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
We're talking Battlehawks with the head coach. It's time for Anthony Becht's Call-In.
Presented by Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken, home of the Battlehawks box.
Welcome back here to the Fast Lane 101 ESPN. I got Andrew Marsh on the dials. Jamie Rivers here. Former Super Bowl champion Carey Davis with us as well. We head out to our phone lines, talk to head coach of the Battlehawks, Anthony Becht. Anthony, how are we doing today?
All's good, guys. How's St. Louis treating you?
It's good. It's good. Coach, I have a question for you because I just got finished talking to Carey Davis about his college recruitment days when he was picking universities. And I'm not sure if you're aware of this, Coach, but Carey Davis literally ghosted the University of Michigan on a visit. And then he wondered why the letters stopped arriving at his home. Yeah. Coach, is there anything during your recruitment to your college team that, one, you remember as a positive, maybe something you regret?
I'll be honest with you. Carey was a big-time 5-star blue chipper with about 50 offers. I had one scholarship offer about 10 days before signing, so I was either going to go to D2 or I was going to get lucky and go to West Virginia, and they extended the offer, so I didn't have a chance to ghost anybody.
How's that feel, Carey?
It all worked out, Anthony. I guess all I can say, it all worked out for me. I can't complain. It is what it is, and then I got to play against those guys and have a good time, so it worked out for the best. Coach, how has training camp been going? How are you enjoying this and being down there and getting back in around with the guys?
Yeah, Carey, it's been great. Again, just truly humbled to have this opportunity to coach for the third straight year. We've made great progress in two seasons, and really for me, as just 2 years being a head coach, and we really want to take those steps. So,
Anthony, we're losing you a little bit right now. We're having a little bit of trouble hearing you.
Are you guys? Can you hear me now?
That's a little bit better. Yep, you're good.
Yeah, so I was saying, training camp is going really well. There's a lot of competition, and listen, it's been the biggest goal for us was to really bring in better talent and really load up the roster, and that's what we felt like we did. So really excited to get things kicked off as we kick the league off next Friday night against Houston, and get this thing going.
Now, Anthony, like I know, every training camp there's a player or a group of players that kind of come out of nowhere and shock you. Has there been one of those guys that you all have been keeping your eye on and saying, man, this kid can really go?
Yeah, listen, like I said, 37 guys were brought into camp that were there last year. We brought 27 players in. Some of the guys that, have opened eyes, obviously, we have a quarterback competition. Max Duggan, Manny and Wilkins and Shevin Cordero have done a really good job. All those guys have really come in prepared and picked up the system. We did lose Bruce Gutkowski, our offensive coordinator, and we had our new coordinator come in about 2.5 weeks before training camp. So, just kind of getting all that kind of dialed in and making sure the system is good, and we can really have a great opportunity, another year of great offense. And defensively, we really amped up. We returned two of our all-league safeties, and Nate Metters and Lucas Dennis, with Q who we got last year, and I think for us, really, the secondary defensive line has been spots where we really upgraded. So we're looking to get that pass rush on run better, force shut down the pass game with some of these teams that are aerated or some of these passing offenses that we go. And so we're really excited about, what it looks like here. And
we're talking with head coach of the St. Louis Battlehawks, Anthony Becht. And, Coach, you just talked about a little bit of a quarterback competition going into this season. Those are always fun, I'm sure, as a coach to watch that happen. But just, from an offensive standpoint, you lose your OC, and then you also move on from A.J. McCarron as your quarterback. I mean, how much of a challenge is that, and how different will this be?
Yeah, Phil McDaniel is our new coordinator. He was a wide receiver coach last year, and listen, he's got a lot of experience in the NFL and college football. So again, we're really excited about the opportunity that Phil has this year, and I got the utmost confidence. And quite frankly, anybody could have really called the plays, and I could have handed that off to anybody on our staff because we just have really overqualified guys for what we're doing. As far as the quarterback competition, yeah, every guy's been good. Manny's obviously has the experience of the system. The system is the same. The core values of the system is the same. But, obviously there's some sprinkles in there to make it, a little bit more simpler and be able to kind of do some things at a little bit better level. So he's being able to come in there and really take ownership of it. Max obviously getting drafted in 2023 with the Chargers. He's got some NFL experience. And really just for him, just kind of picking up everything, getting it all down. Really, it's the protections and the reads and getting the eyes in the right place. And, Shevin Gadara has been really a surprise. I didn't really have a lot of expectation for Shevin just because he's young, coming from San Jose State. But, man, he's electric with his legs. He's got a really live arm, and he really is growing every single practice. He's got some, some building and developmental stuff to do. But, we may see him at some point during the season. But right now, it's Max and Manny's kind of show, and they continue to, compete and do the right things. And I think they feel really good about what the quarterback situation is right now and the offensive plan that we have behind it.
Now, Anthony, all the teams are down there in Texas, and I'm sure you get to see some of those guys. Do you all have any joint practices, or is it just solely you focusing on your team and putting in the work and getting ready for the season?
Yeah, last week we practiced with Memphis. Coach Ken Wisenhunt is the new head coach for the Memphis team this year. We did really good. When you're going against your own guys for a couple weeks, you really don't know what you have because we feel like we have really good players. And when you go against each other, there's a lot of wins and losses. And then when you go against somebody else and it starts, you're like, oh, okay, we're getting a lot of good wins here. Offensive line, defensive line, the trenches look really good. So we really came off feeling really positive about that scrimmage. And then today was our final day of training camp, and we scrimmaged Arlington. And, again, kind of the last touches for guys to really kind of pad their resume and give themselves, the best opportunity to make this team. We have to make 14 cuts tonight and tomorrow morning and officially turn in our roster. So we have some difficult choices to make. I really think that every one of these guys deserve to make the team. But just like, you know how things are, man, in this business. Like, we have to cut down to the roster size. So, it's going to be a tough day tomorrow, but really feel good about the 50 guys that, we're going into the season with.
Coach, you guys had a real good season last year, but you fell, one game short from getting to the final, which was right here at the Battle Dome in St. Louis. Just your feelings overall on that. One, how disappointing was it to fall short? But on the other hand, how great was it to get to that point?
Yeah, listen, I mean, year one, we got 7 wins, second best record in the conference. And, just because of some tiebreakers, we weren't able to make it. It was a great start for us. Last year was about taking steps. It's always about winning championships, but we're able to get the conference championship game against San Antonio. Having to have to beat Wade Phillips' coach team 3 times in a row was a tall task, and we had our opportunities in that game. We were, AJ was battling through some injuries, and we had some guys. We just came up a little short. So yeah, I mean, look, a lot of expectations for me. I want to win a championship now. I mean, that's my goal. That's why I'm in this thing. I'm in here to continue to build this team, build this roster. Make the city proud of what we're doing. I know they're proud. I mean, obviously falling short in the playoffs. is not the goal. But at the end of the day, we feel good about where we're at, what we're doing, and the steps we're taking forward to get this team to a championship level.
Now, Anthony, you called me a 5-star recruit and said I had plenty of offers, and you had to wait 10 days before you got signed. Well, Anthony, here's the one thing you didn't have to wait. You didn't wait for the phone to ring for the first round of the draft. You got drafted in the first round. I sat there for 3 damn days, brother. Nobody called until the draft was over. So, yeah, you had me beat there. And so you had a great career, did a great job. The question I was going to ask you got a new offensive coordinator. You talked about him. You talked about the new quarterbacks. Did you have a conversation with those guys about getting my guy Jake Sutherland some more touches? I know you as a tight end want your tight end to touch the ball more. Can we expect more from old Jake here this year?
Yeah, last year Jake was kind of battling like a plantar fasciitis the whole season. He just really wasn't himself. But, man, he made some huge plays for us. He's having a great camp, man. He's very accountable, as you know. He does everything you ask him to do, but, man, really looks athletic this year. He's healthy and really has set the bar. I do believe we're going to be in a lot of opportunities for him this season to catch the ball. Now, we got great skill. We've added a few receivers, but Jakari Pearson's back, Hakeem Butler's back, guys like, Denzel Mims and players that, have really done well in their careers, we're able to kind of load up. And that makes the job easier for our quarterbacks. And, of course, we got to run the ball better and be really good at that as well. So Jacob Sailors, led the league in rushing last year, and, we're excited to have him back as well. So, we feel good about the trenches. I think that's going to be key for us this year. It's definitely a point of emphasis when you're talking about spring leagues because, those are the positions that are always tough to find. And, man, I felt like we found 10 of them in camp that are really good. So we really did our homework, pressed it out well. Me and Dave Bowler really came together in the off season and watched the film, and we found some really good players. So we got great depth, we got good starters, and again, we're looking for a good team. We're trying to improve the team from top to bottom, so we don't have to lean on any individual and allow the team to go out there on all 3 phases and be great.
Well, Coach, we know you've got a busy schedule ahead of you, some tough decisions, as you just told us, to make here in the next day to day and a half. So we wish you the best with that. We are really looking forward to another Battlehawks season, and we're very excited to have you on here with us once a week during the Battlehawks season. So we really appreciate your time, Coach, and good luck here.
No, I appreciate it. Can't wait to come on every week. And, hey, listen, if for the fans out there, give it a try. We got a great product on the field this year. We're going to have a big year, and it's going to be exciting in the Dome.
Yeah, it always is, Coach. Thanks so much for your time, Anthony. Good luck the rest of training camp here, and we'll talk to you next week.
All right, guys. Thanks.
All right, that was your head coach of your Battlehawks, Anthony Becht. Just a great guy.
Oh,
right,
yeah.
Carey?
Great dude. He's a great teammate, great guy.
I don't know if he drinks or not. Don't care. He's a guy who doesn't have to, but I can sit down and have a beer with this guy.
Sit there and talk ball.
Yeah.
He's very knowledgeable about
or whatever else. I mean, he's got a son that plays football, too. Yeah. And, so there's a lot of layers there.
Yeah, it's always fun, catching up with old teammates. I look forward to talking to them every week. We should hopefully they have a great season again like they have had and can cap it off with winning the championship. I think the city would love to see that. They need to see that. Need to see a team that is having success. So hopefully they can rekindle some of that energy that they had last year and bring it back again.
Yeah, I think they will. The Battlehawks fans are crazy here.
They are.
We love the football here. We love the Battlehawks. So they will show out for sure at the Dome. Again, Anthony Becht, for those just tuning in now, he will be joining us each and every week during the Battlehawks season to talk about Battlehawks football and whatever else pops up, as he is Carey Davis's former teammate. So we could have some funny moments as well. So, all right, thank you again to the coach. Let's see here. We have yet to do Prove Me Wrong. And Marshy, on his birthday, I feel like he's going to be a really generous judge.
No, maybe.
It's a new year for him. He might decide to be a little tougher.
He might.
That sweater is,
it's fantastic. It looks extremely comfortable, too.
Extremely intelligent man over there.
Yeah, very sophisticated.
Great head of hair. I don't have it, I wish I did.
Likewise.
Yep,
Well, we'll get to Prove Me Wrong next here on 101 ESPN.
Prove me wrong, kids. Prove me wrong.
All right, it's that time of the week for Prove Me Wrong, where Carey Davis and I will have to plead our case to the honorable judge and birthday boy, Andrew Marsh. Judge, what do you got for us?
All right, let's start off with the 314. Prove me wrong. Spring is the most overrated season. It is windy, rainy, unpredictable weather, allergies, and no festive drinks at Starbucks.
When's your birthday?
March 19th.
When's your birthday?
March 16th.
Anthony's
March something.
30th. I'm 27th. Springtime sounds like the perfect season to me. I don't know what you would be thinking. Why would we think that this is the birth time for everyone in the fast lane? We were born. We are spring babies. Spring forward is what you want to do. And that's what we do in the fast lane. Spring. We are great. You should be great, and you should enjoy the spring because that's when our birth month is. Fast lane. What we do?
Who doesn't love flowers blooming, grass turning green, leaves back on the trees? Oh, wait a minute, sitting out on the deck watching TV, fire pit going, maybe
it's not
a cocktail.
150 degrees. It's not 10 degrees.
Take your dog for a walk. Take the kids to the park.
Yeah.
We're all tired of that winter, that bitter cold that just left us. I would argue that spring is the best time of year.
I would agree.
It's the best?
Yeah.
Especially since it's our judge's birthday today.
Yep.
What? Come on!
I don't care about birthdays.
Oh,
you're a
Are you
judge.
kidding me? I don't even know it could rain in 5 hours.
Well, it's not snow.
Yes, but we never said that winter is like properly rated, underrated, or properly rated. Spring is overrated.
Judge, I'm sorry. I have to. This is an appeal. We've never done this before. I'm going to file.
No, Anthony tried to appeal the other day.
I'm going to file an appeal. I know it's usually against the odds, but when I look at spring, I look at things that we're adding to our life. We're adding flowers. We're adding green. We're adding color, sunshine. We're adding fire pits. We're adding outdoor excursions. We're adding all of these things. In the winter, we don't have them, so that's a moot point. In the summer, it's too damn hot to do all of those things. It gets a little bit tough. And in the fall, we're losing leaves. We're losing grass. We're losing flowers, Judge. Please rethink.
The fall time, in my opinion, is the best. So if you can convince me right now that fall is not the best time of the year.
So what happens in the fall? You go from warm to cold. You go from nice shorts and a hoodie to long jackets, hats, and hoodies and all this stuff. You don't have the outdoor.
That's winter, though.
But what does fall become?
Fall. I'm not looking at what fall becomes. I'm looking at what fall is.
I'm just looking at the whole point.
I'm thinking of
it gets darker earlier, so you're losing daylight savings time. You're losing all of the beautiful colors are going away.
No, but that is fall, is when the colors happen.
No, the leaves fall off the trees. We're not in New England here. This is the Midwest. Shut up, Carey.
Football's back in the fall.
I stayed out of it. I almost said that's why I stayed out of it.
You're not helping.
In the fall,
You're
man.
fired. Get out of my law firm.
I could help you.
Damn you, Carey.
Then you said the trees don't. That's what they do change.
They change into pretty little
whatever
colors.
Next, please.
Tried to sink down so no one can see me.
You didn't sink very far.
Bonfires in the fall.
We have them in the spring too.
No.
I'm having one tonight.
Still nice. There
Yeah, you're not invited.
All right.
I'm just gonna show up. Crash the party.
Okay, fair enough.
Pork and beans. Prove me wrong. Victor Scott should be playing center field opening day.
Are you kidding me? What kind of experience does this guy have? We saw the same song and dance last year in spring training, did we not? That's how he got out of spring training, is he was like, oh my God, Victor Scott, this guy came out of nowhere. Oh, fantastic. Then he couldn't hit anything at all. He could barely play. Michael Ciani took his job because Victor Scott couldn't play in the major league level. So why would I think this year that anything's going to be different? Yeah, he's showing great promise right now, once again, in spring training. Fast forward, just like last year, to regular season, and it disappeared. It wasn't, even today, made an error on a catch. Should have had that catch. Jumped too soon, fell into the wall. Like, the wheels are starting to fall off on this young man.
Damn. It's actually a pretty good argument there.
Just saying, man. The closer we get to the regular season, you're going to see the less he's going to hit, the less he's going to have an impact. Just like last year.
How do you do today?
He had an error.
What else did he do, Carey?
I don't know.
I was at work when the game was being played.
Yeah.
This is work.
Yeah, he wasn't listening, though.
I was working.
Look at the TV in the
I had my eyes buried in my work. I couldn't see it.
Yeah.
You're prepping for this one question.
Yeah.
Had an error. That's what I just saw.
All right. I don't think he's going to be the center fielder anyways. I'll give it to you. Feeling
tough.
generous.
Especially
tough. After that last
I had to
one.
dig deep there, Carey. Again, you were no help on that.
I couldn't help you. You know,
I might have to give you a little time off here.
I gave my answer for the spring, and then you jumped in. I think he was going for it.
You almost got buzzed 3 seconds
He was
into it.
going for it. Birthdays.
He hates his own birthday. You heard him.
You're right.
I don't hate my birthday. It's just,
It doesn't matter to him.
I don't care. He hates our
it's just
birthdays.
another day.
But he cares about us, so
I don't know
we
if he
care
does,
about.
Carey.
You might be right. I don't know.
What the heck? He cares about us.
Judge, one more, please. Because we
I
got.
don't know. I don't know. You guys. I don't know if you guys.
Screw it then. You know what?
Yeah, you guys.
Head
no.
coach, Jim.
No, you guys.
What?
No.
I don't want it. You know what? I don't care. Just why don't you just hit the button? Do it. All right, thank you. Coming up next here in the fast lane. I don't care anymore. You don't care. Your answers.
Fight, man.
No, you clearly mailed it in. You mailed it in.
You said
Your springtime thing sucked.
Don't change.
It sucked.
I had the duck.
I didn't say that. I said they fall off the trees.
They change.
I know, but they fall off the tree.
Not
Carey.
till it's close to winter.
Is that still the fall?
No, not really.
Still the damn fall.
I couldn't help you.
You didn't want to. You didn't want it bad
And
enough.
it's football season. I definitely had no help for you.
That helped out a lot when you tried. It's football season.
I didn't say it until he said it.
Whatever.
Clearly, you guys need to work on something, and we'll regroup next week.
Need Anthony here.
No, we don't. Yeah, we do. I'm going to ask Coach Jim Montgomery what he thinks. Coming up next here, we get the head coach from the St. Louis Blues, Jim Montgomery, here on 101 ESPN. You hear us all the time, Anthony and I, talking about our guy Stewie from Stewart's American Mortgage Corporation. Stewie is the best in the business. And I'm not just saying that because, we're here talking about Stewie. He's actually helped me. When I purchased my new home, going through a divorce, all sorts of different things going on, a lot of moving parts, Stewie stepped up, man. He answered all my questions, and when there were certain little speed bumps or roadblocks, he found a way to get solutions for those. And that's what he's going to do for you. Whether it's purchasing a new home like I did, or maybe it's a mortgage rate or an interest rate that you're not happy with, you want to refinance what you have currently, or debt consolidation. Stewie finds a way to help people consolidate debt, and with their payments, he ends up taking away payments on the bottom line. Like, he does such an amazing job that you have to give him a call and talk to him. So any of your financial needs that you have, give Stewie a call. Tell him that Jamie and Anthony sent you in there. He loves hearing that. And he gives out his personal cell phone number, too. That number's 314-324-4440. Again, that's 314-324-4440. And if you can't remember that, it's easy. You can Google the Bagel Loan.
NMLS number 226715.
Elite Comfort Experts is heating and cooling done the right way. Family values delivered straight to your home with a BBB Torch Award for ethics to prove it. We are dedicated to earning our customers' trust. No gimmicks, just guarantees. Let us earn your trust at EliteComfortExperts.com.
WXOS, WXOS HD1 East St. Louis, 101 ESPN is driven by Brown and Crouppen Law Firm. With the head coach of your St. Louis Blues, Jim Montgomery. Coach Monty is presented by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
Welcome back here to the Fast Lane, 101 ESPN. We are proud to go out to our Collier and Thompson phone line, welcoming in your head coach of the St. Louis Blues, Jim Montgomery. Monty, how you doing, bud?
Ribs, I'm doing good, man. You and Carey ready to roll here?
We are, but I got a question for you first. You're going to settle a debate for us, Coach, because Carey and I just about came to blows over this in the studio here. Marshy, too, decided to jump in. We almost had a Royal Rumble here. For you, what season is better? Is it spring or fall?
Oh, wow. That is a tough one.
Exactly.
You know, because fall, you've got baseball playoffs, you got the start of NFL and college football, and you got hockey and basketball starting. Springtime, the sun's coming out. Everybody wants to get out and enjoy themselves outdoors, and you got NHL playoffs, you got the Masters. That's a tough one. You know, but I'm going to go springtime.
Yes! Good Canadian boy right there.
Now, Coach, maybe you can help me solve a problem, because I'm working with a coworker who is as stubborn as a damn mule, and he does not listen. Can you give me some life advice on how to deal with coworkers that are extremely stubborn, like one Jamie Rivers?
Well, if you're trying to convince a jackass to not be stubborn, you might be looking in the mirror.
Hey, okay, you're right. It's me, not him.
Thank you, I think, Monty. I'm not sure. All right, Coach, let's get into some hockey talk here now, because that's pretty fun to talk about right now as well. Man, you guys are rolling, and I get this question all the time. People ask me, I'm like, I'm not inside the locker room, but, you know, for people who are listening right now, you know, what happened during the Four Nations break for you guys as a staff to either reorganize or get the guys re-energized? We talked about getting healthy and all that stuff, but, like, what else transpired, at least to your knowledge, to where this team has come back, man, and they are uber-focused?
You know, I think it's a multitude of things that happened to the players. And honestly, it's taken everybody has dug in. It's management, it's the staff, it's myself. And I think everybody came back with the perspective that, you know what, we're going to simplify, and we're just going to count on each other. And I think with little steps of success, and inside there, one of the practices that we had was a real hard practice when we came back, right before we started playing. And Torpachenko laid a reverse shoulder on Buchnevich. And the two of them, it was a real physical, and it could have gone wrong, but they both just got up with a smile on their face and kept competing. And I think since then, that's all our team has done. We've had a smile on our face, but there's been an intensity to how we're smiling. And the second thing is some people started to say it all started just with a little pinch.
Yeah, you too. Right.
The magical pinch, some would say.
Monty, I was listening. We had audio from Justin Falk a couple of days ago, and he said the word selfless. And it reminded me of a word you said. You said the exact same word, I think, last time you were on with us. You said your team is playing selfless. Is that something when you as a coach start hearing the players, and I don't know if you heard it or not, but when you start hearing the players saying the same words, the same verbiage that the coaching staff is using, is that something that kind of gets you all going and knowing that you're going in the right direction and that they are buying into what you're trying to prove and trying to get them to do?
It does. And I did read the quote and hear the quote of a post-game by Justin Falk where he did say selfless. And I've heard players use words like unity and how close they are. And like I think it's Bennington and Matthew Joseph both used the word love. And it's an incredibly powerful word, and you don't hear it very often when the locker room setting because it's just not a common word that describes, the bond between teammates. But that being said, it also shows the vulnerability and the trust that I think is existing in our room right now.
You talk about the word love. People don't understand that these players are literally around each other more than they are around their own families. You're on the road, your 6 or 7 day road trips where you don't get to see your kids, your wife. That part is extremely important because if you don't love the guy that you're playing next to, it's really hard to do all of the things that you all have been doing lately.
It does. I mean, you don't need to be best friends, they've always said, because you've had the Oakland A's and the New York Yankees of Billy Martin days where there was a lot of fist fighting going on. But that fist fighting in behind, there's a lot of hugs going on. Mm-hmm. And it's the intensity of how much you love each other. I always said this. I watched my 2 sons. They fight every day, but I know that they'll have each other's back.
You're right. I got the same thing with my boys. In fact, I had to, I don't know if you know this, Monty, I had to incorporate UFC rules at my house to where, because we're not always there to break up these fights.
Yeah.
And my boys are twins. They get after it. And so I had to say, okay, look, if somebody goes down, you're done.
Yeah.
Or if somebody taps out, you're done.
Yeah.
But if you tap out or you go down, you can't get back up and fight anymore. You're done. You lost that one that day.
Yeah.
Any of these rules apply?
No Pearl Harbor.
Exactly. You never know. But it's talking about fighting and things like that. How proud does it make you as a coach when you see things happen on the ice, and these guys stick up for each other? Like Braden Shen with Jacob Trouba, Jake Neighbors going after a much bigger player in McCarron, and then Tyler Tucker sticking up for himself. It just feels like these guys just have each other's backs.
It's awesome. I mean, and there's no hesitation. It's right away. It's full throttle. Not only was Jake Neighbors going, but he sprinted past, he just beat Justin Falk to be able to do it. And, and then Tucker sending that message, you want to run us, we're going to run you.
I like that for sure. Hey, Coach, how much fun is it also to have a couple of young players that are absolute speed demons out there? Well, watching Holloway and Carey, I mean, I think back as a player, I'm like, man, what a nightmare it would have been to play against these two guys. They work so hard. They play so well together. Braden Shen with that line as well. The chemistry has just been off the charts. But from a coaching standpoint, what have you seen in their maturation process throughout this season?
Well, for Jordan Kyrou, it's been his intensity in all 3 zones. He tracks, and his D-zone coverage has gotten to the point where, I very rarely, unless I need 2 centers out there, to not allow him to take face-offs in the D-zone like I did in the goal they scored, because there's not a lot of time left in the third period. But there's a trust level and the way he's doing things, and it's exemplary of the whole team. And then, when I look at Holloway, just the sheer determination that he has and the puck hunger he has really, I think, has made our team more relentless and more dogged determination to get to hard areas.
Monty, I was looking at the Toropchenko goal from a couple of nights ago, and I just thought it was spectacular. When you see a player that doesn't do something that they normally do and makes a big play like that, how exciting is that? I know you all didn't win that game, but to see him score that goal in the manner in which he did, how exciting was that for you all when you got to see that?
Yeah, you like to see players gain confidence and start trying things that you haven't seen them do because they feel the confidence that they can do these things, and it just makes our team so much more dynamic and better. And you've seen the emergence of Bolduc. You've seen the emergence of the Faxa line with Toropchenko and Walker, and we see Matthew Joseph scoring and laying out big hits and blocking shots. And then, you have our top two lines, and our decor has been outstanding.
Yeah, Coach, everything has been firing on all cylinders for you guys. And now you find yourself, and I hate labeling games, but this is a huge game. I'm not going to say it's the biggest game of the year because that time still may be lying ahead for you guys, but it certainly is one of the biggest games of the season tomorrow night against the Vancouver Canucks. How do you get your team prepared for this? And, what are some of the things you're wanting to see from your team early?
Well, I think our team they can't wait for this opportunity to start the game, to play in front of our Blues fans. We've been talking about how we've wanted to reward them, and now we're playing really important games, in late March, going into April, and we're excited for the opportunity to play the Canucks on home ice and get after it right from the beginning. I know we're going to be good right from puck drop.
Well, Monty, good luck tomorrow night. We're looking forward to it, and I will definitely take your advice about working with jackasses. I will look in the mirror and be better since I know he's not going to change.
I was going to say well said, but I just got a crap sandwich fed right to me. Unbelievable. Well, you know what, Monty? Thank you for your time. Carey and I have some things to discuss during the break.
We're dropping the gloves.
Cheers, guys.
Hey, Coach, best of luck tomorrow night, man. I mean it. You guys are rolling right now. Keep this thing going.
Thanks.
All right, thanks a lot. That was the head coach, Jim Montgomery, your St. Louis Blues. He's always great to give us his time once a week and gives us great perspective. And one thing I love about Monty is the way he communicates things. He makes it sound so easy, so normal. And you can tell by the way this team is reacting that they're grasping the message and they want to be coached. Like, Carey, you've had those teams where players are like, they buck back against the coaching.
Yeah.
And I don't think that happened here. I think there may have been a bit of a learning curve period, because, again, he inherited a team that he had no say in, and he also inherited a team that had a bunch of new players on it, and he inherited a team that had played a different system and whatnot. So he's finally had his chance to really put his fingerprints on this, and you're seeing that this team is playing for him and each other.
I think they are, and they're having fun. You've been to... When I would tell people, hey, I work. Like, playing in the NFL is work. Playing in the NHL is work. But sometimes it really feels like work.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's like, this isn't work. We get to come to work, and we get to do these things and prepare, and then we get to go play the game. And so I think the Blues are at that moment now where it doesn't feel like work. It doesn't feel like the things that are asked of them is too hard. You're not asking too much. It's almost like, what do you need me to do? Okay, I'll do it. You need me to block a shot that's going 100 miles per hour? Coach? Okay, cool, I'll step in front of it.
I don't even think they're asking, Carey. They're offering.
Can I be me?
Play me. I'll do it.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
So, they're having fun, and it starts at the top. Everything starts at the top, and I think Monty has those guys. They're playing well. They're enjoying one another. They're showing love for one another, and you're seeing the results of it on the ice every night.
And you're also seeing, it's not just Monty. He gets credit because he's a head coach, as he should. He's the leader of all men right now. But Mike Weber, Steve Ott, Claude Julien, these guys are doing a great job. Michael Babcock, the video department, all these guys are a huge part of this right now.
Yeah.
And it's fun to watch. So either way, we wish the Blues good luck tomorrow night in a massive game against the Vancouver Canucks. And again, thank you to head coach Jim Montgomery. Folks, we're at the end of the show. We're off early today. We're off at 5:30 because pregame starts for American versus Mount St. Mary's. Tip-off will be at 5:40. So when we come back, what you learned, criticisms, compliments, and all that fun stuff here on 101 ESPN.
Hey, it's Carey Davis, and if you are looking to upgrade the look and feel of your home, then look no further. Window Nation has you covered. They're affordable, high-quality, energy-efficient windows. Lower your monthly utility bills and keep your home comfortable all year round. And it's affordable. As I said, how affordable right now? Get 2 windows free with every 2 you buy, plus 0 down, no payments or interest for 2 years. You can get those windows installed in 1 day and not pay anything until 2027. Imagine what you could do with all that extra money in your pocket, but you have to hurry. The offer ends soon, so don't miss out on your chance to take advantage of buy 2, get 2 free and pay nothing until 2027. Schedule a fast, free in-home estimate right now at 866-90-NATION, or you can go online at windownation.com. Window Nation is great. All they do is windows. They are experts. Last year alone, they installed over 200,000 windows, 40 times more than the average window company. 96% of those windows requiring no follow-up service. You'll get that window installed in a day or less, and Window Nation windows come with a lifetime warranty. So give them a call, 866-90-NATION, or online at windownation.com. All right, beautiful sunshine out there. We have already determined that springtime is the best time of the year. No better time to accessorize your vehicle either. Visit my friends over at Pure Performance. They are your one-stop shop for all of your aftermarket modifications. The technicians are fantastic. They do an incredible job. So no matter what vehicle that you drive, whether it's a pickup truck, an SUV, a Jeep, Bronco, car, minivan, it doesn't matter. Pure Performance has something for you. How do I know this? Because they have the largest showroom in the area, 25,000 square foot facility that has absolutely everything you're looking for when it comes to accessories. So get in there, ask for Shelby or Paul. Tell them Jamie Rivers sent you in. But don't forget that Pure Performance also one of the biggest tire suppliers in the area. And that's not just the oversized or off-road tires. It's all tires for all vehicles. They've got you covered. And not only that, they are supplying tires and wheels now for your ATV, UTV, and golf carts. But wait, there's more. Full service garage. So anything you need done under the hood, the brakes, tune-up, engine, transmission, you name it, Pure Performance can do everything on the inside and outside for you. So please stop by that showroom or visit them online at pureperformance.com. That's pure, P-U-R, performance.com.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. We are off early today. We have the first four American and Mount St. Mary's going at it. Pregame starts at 5:30. Tip-off will be at 5:40. Following that game, Texas and Xavier tip-off at 8:10. If you missed anything from today's show, including our interviews with Battlehawks head coach Anthony Becht and Blues head coach Jim Montgomery, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's 101 ESPN mobile app. Just head to the podcast page and you'll find all of our full shows and interviews there. And it's all brought to you by the Schaefer Door Company. We have what we learned and 3 stars of the day coming up next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Well, we've reached the end of the show here in the Fast Lane. It's been a great day. We had head coach Jim Montgomery on from the Blues. We also had head coach Anthony Becht from your St. Louis Battlehawks. If you missed any of that stuff, go back, download the podcast brought to you by Schaefer Door Company. There we go. And we had a really fun show all around. All right, it's time for What We Learned. Carey Davis, what did we learn today?
Well, I tried to get Texas and Xavier to both lose. I learned that they can't. One of them got to win. So Illinois will not indeed get a first-round bye.
All right.
It's okay.
Marshy,
whoever's there.
What'd you learn?
I learned that you believe that trees lose their leaves once fall begins and they don't change color.
They do. It happens fast in Canada. It does. You wake up
overnight. Never lived there.
Summer.
They're gone.
You might be right, actually. Marshy, summer to winter, boom.
It's quick.
In the blink of an eye.
It really.
There really is no
two
fall.
blinks sometimes.
Yeah. Yep, it's over.
That didn't look weird at all. All right, I learned that not only is Jim Montgomery one hell of a hockey coach and a good guy, but also great judge of seasons. He also picked springtime.
Yeah.
Good job, Monty. All right, criticisms, compliments on this wonderful day.
We got a few happy birthdays for me.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Which is great. What is that noise?
That was you.
That was you, bro.
You're the only one touching your mic.
Yeah.
Oh. Maybe it's the ghost of Anthony playing with his mic.
Blame us. Blame us.
I was just wondering. Jeez, what's that noise?
Couldn't be me. It's my birthday.
My goodness. All right, from the 314, criticism. Jamie called a bundt cake a cupcake on the broadcast on Sunday, shaking my head. Clearly, he's been thinking about this for a few days now.
Okay, a bundt cake is a large cupcake. Let's just be honest, okay?
Okay. I agree with you.
It's just a big cupcake.
You say so.
And we're live on the air. We got time constraints. I'm trying to eat a damn cake on TV. You know, like, come on, man. Show me a little latitude.
A little grace.
Yeah, something. Yeah, a little something for the effort, you know?
All right, let's just get to our 3 stars before we get out of here early. Our 3rd star of the day is going to go out to the guy who created the polio vaccine, Jonas Salk, one of the other Jonas brothers.
Yeah,
right?
They're known over there as the Jonas brothers.
The Jonas brothers.
In Sweden, they pronounce it that way.
Interesting. Our 2nd star of the day is going to go out to springtime.
Yeah, spring ahead, baby.
Spring ahead.
I guess we lost the debate.
Yeah.
Springtime will get a 2nd star. That is its reward.
Yeah.
And our 1st star of the day.
First star of the day is Andrew Marsh for his birthday. Yeah.
All right.
I made an executive decision.
It's a great decision.
Yeah.
What was the runner-up, just out of curiosity?
This is probably why he wanted to change it. It was going to go out to all of Carey Davis's brackets.
glad we made that.
I think you saw what he wrote down.
Andrew Marsh, #1 star.
All right, you know what? All jokes aside, Marshy, happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday,
We love you very much. I
love you guys.
hope you have an awesome night with your wonderful girlfriend,
Thank
Rachel. You guys both deserve it. So have a great evening. We want to thank all of our listeners, too, for hanging with us today. We love all of you as well. Again, you can download the podcast and listen to everything that you missed on the show. And tomorrow we will be coming to you from Helen Fitzgerald as we start our March Madness. And Carey's going to bring all 12 of his brackets to that. So please make sure you join us tomorrow. Going to be a fun day. Until then, get outside, enjoy the weather. I mean, come on, it's springtime.